Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to Lawsplaining the Interwebs. I am your host, Nick Rekieta of Rekieta Law, or maybe it's Lawsplaining the Interweebs tonight. I don't know, but with me tonight are Landon Anime, and the official anime recommender of this channel, and Anime Outsiders. Cody from Anime Outsiders are here with me. Hey, what's up, guys?
Hi. How you doing this fine and wonderful day?
Yeah, how you guys doing?
I'm good. I guess it's like the day of weird internet.
Everybody's having an internet problem. You're supposed to have fucking Gator from Killstream on. His internet was like running on a goddamn MacBook, an old Mac, black and green with the goddamn LAN connection.
I think he had actually hired. Since this is an anime stream, we can make fun of the Chinese. I think he had actually hired some Chinese people to build a railroad to send his internet service out. Like that's how slow it was going.
I think his internet's so bad right now he can't run Wolfenstein, the original one.
He might have just been chilling in the back of Kmart. He's got that Kmart connection.
Could be. So, anyways, yeah. But other than that, I'm good. I have this bottle of Horin sake to be in good form tonight, and in the theme of Japan. I don't know. Do they drink much sake in anime?
All the time.
Lots of yabisu beer too. Usually.
That sounds awful.
Yabisu. Yabisu is actually not too bad, but it's not good enough to be drank in real life as I guess advertised in anime.
Sure. I wonder if this is going to be any good. I mean, I live in the middle of Minnesota, right, and away from any city, so the sake selection is not like, you know, there's not a phenomenal amount of choices out here.
I hear it's pretty bad overall, but I don't drink, so I wouldn't know. But I'm just going by secondhand.
I've got some Captain Morgan and some off-brand Canadian whiskey. That's what I'm going to be going off of tonight.
By the end of this stream, I'm going to be the only one lucid.
That sounds like a good plan. I'm just going to let Gator know that if he is able to, he's welcome to join us, and I'll make sure he knows that the Hangout link is in.
Zidane is dead, apparently.
Zidane.
Yeah.
Zidane.
Hold on one second. This is, of course, highly technical stuff going on in the background where I have to type into Twitter, and so my brain isn't working.
This is very technical. Well, while you're typing to Twitter, hi, everybody. How y'all doing? I'm Cody. I run Anime Outsiders. We piss people off, but that's okay, because when we piss, it's generally people we don't like, so that's okay. They can be pissed. We want to bring you the very best in anime that doesn't suck, because most of it does, but it's okay, because we'll tell you which ones don't suck, so that you can watch good ones, and you don't have to watch shit about fucking girls with saucer eyes that squeak at you and make your dog bark. No,
it's also good. It's good to talk to you again, Cody. Hope you're doing well, my friend.
I'm doing quite well, yeah.
My name is you guys can obviously see, I am Landon Anime. I am an anime critic and expert, and I have a very little YouTube channel. But if you guys have followed my blogs, I have a much bigger following on that. And yeah, I'm here. I wanted to open my introduction saying "Ohayo gozaimasu," but I'm not that big of a degenerate. So
except you just did it.
Wait a minute,
I just fucking did it. I know. I am a degenerate.
Like, man, I don't mean to be a degenerate. I don't want to whip my dick out here in the middle of the Kmart, but here it goes.
I wanted to say "Ohayo gozaimasu," and I was like, oh.
Wait a minute, Landon. I've got beef with you, my friend.
Why is that?
I think you know why. I think it had to do with yesterday. A certain chat came through, and speaking of that, we'll get to it in just a second. But I want to let people know there are two ways to easily interact with us. There is the super chat function through YouTube. There's also the justice chat function. There is a downside to the justice chat function. Do you guys have the YouTube chat pulled up, by the way, Cody and Landon?
I don't.
I do. Oh, I have it on my next tab. Yeah.
Sure. Well, the super chats will easily. I mean, you guys would be able to see them. The justice chat function. This is something I just realized I need to remedy in some way, which means I'll probably get to it in like 7 months when I just decide to quit trying and have someone with competence help me out. But the justice chats won't be easily viewable. But if you guys do want to send either a super chat or a justice chat, the justice chat link is in the description. It's right next to justice chat, and you can send money with accompanying some words. Those words will be read on stream. Questions will be answered. Comments will be made. All of that stuff. There are 2 of those kind of waiting. One was well before the show, and it's a question to Cody. So we're going to read that right now. That was from Ink Penification. Asks, Anime Outsider, opinions on Monster and Legend of the Galactic Heroes.
Both are excellent. By the way, it's a running gag now. I wonder if this person did that on purpose, because it's become a running gag in the AO Discord to call me the anime outsider because a couple people that are mad at us did that. But Monster is excellent. Like, even if you don't like anime, that's just one of those is like anybody can watch. You can watch it with your dad, and if he doesn't like it, he's probably got problems. And then Legend of Galactic Heroes, it should be more mainstream friendly, but circumstances means like it's never really going to. Like, it's never going to get a dub because they threw out the masters of that show because it's old.
Well, you'll have to watch it illegally, right? Because it's an what was it, 110 episode OVA?
Yeah, it's really long.
It's really hard to find that legally.
Well, I think they did release it legally, but it was like on like a $300 box set or some shit.
Well, that's how Japan operates. They're still in the Blockbuster era. When I bought the 4-disc box set for Maho no Maho no Princess Minky Momo, I had to pay $450.
That title.
Yeah. Well,
that title.
Magical Princess Minky Momo.
That didn't help.
and mind you, there was no subtitles. So I hope you guys know some Japanese if you want to spend that much to watch an anime.
Well, with Legend of the Galactic Heroes, it was recently, brought over to America, but it can never be dubbed because when they do dubs, they have to take the masters that have the voice track mixed out, and then they put in their voice track. That doesn't exist for Legend of the Galactic Heroes. They threw all that out because it was made years ago. And this is one of those shows that kind of needs to be dubbed because it's very Western in its presentation. It feels like, and all the characters have European names. It feels like it should be, and that would help, expose it to a wider audience. Because Lord knows if this show, got out with like a good dub into the general public, that shit would be dynamite. It is perfect for just Western audiences. But sadly, that's not going to happen. So you kind of got to be a devoted weeb to get your hands on that shit, or deal with subtitles.
Yeah.
But Monster is phenomenal. In just whether you watch the anime or read the manga, which I think I don't think the anime covers the entire manga. I'm not sure. I don't remember. If you can, just read the manga. It's the premise is great. It's kind of an anthology thing, but with a recurring story that carries it. For those who don't know, it's basically a doctor hunting down a serial killer, like a Hannibal Lecter, master manipulator, genius serial killer guy. Because when this serial killer was a child, this doctor saved his life at the expense of his career. Like, he sacrificed his career to save this child. It seemed like a heroic deed. And then the child grows up to be like history's greatest monster. So the doctor takes it upon himself to hunt this guy down across the world because he's too smart to be caught.
Can the monster not kill the doctor because of a personal conflict? Because he wants to kill him, but he just can't because he saved him or something?
Well, no, it's more just this. The guy, the monster's name is Johann, and Johann Liebert. And the thing with Johann is he doesn't just I go around stabbing people. Like, he'll murder people himself sometimes, but what he prefers to do is ruin lives. And the different anthologies are Johann fucks up something and Doctor, oh God, what the hell was his name? I forget the doctor's name. Then he comes in his attempt to find Johan, and in doing so, sometimes either fixes Johan's damage or at least mitigates it. Like sometimes whatever Johan has done has just ruined somebody's life, and there's no saving it. And the very least this guy can do is just prevent any further damage.
That sounds. I don't know what that sounds. It sounds like a familiar storyline, but it's not.
Like
it's combining so many things.
One of Johan's establishing moments at the beginning of the series is there's a lost little girl, and she goes up to him and she's looking for her mommy. She can't find her mommy, and Johan said, "Oh, what's your mommy look like?" And she describes it. Like, "Oh, I've seen her. She went right down that road. If you go down that road, make a left, you'll find her. She's right there. I think she's looking for you." Little girl goes down that road, turns around, she ends up in the fucking red light district.
Oh yeah. Well, and now the little girl is, and
it's implied she gets abducted.
So, Nick, you said something about a beef with me with a super chat. Can you elaborate on that? You said you were going to.
You made me say a Japanese phrase.
Wait, what? Lolly porn? What did I say?
No. It was a phrase in Japanese, and when translated, I guess I could look it up.
You could. I would probably know it because I'm almost bilingual.
I speak Japanese. Here's a little Japanese. Donde está la biblioteca song?
Donde estás?
Having to find this is going to be such a...
I don't remember. I was probably fucking hammered.
Yeah, I'm trying to find it. The chat told me what you told me to say after I said it.
I just remember like 2 weeks ago I said itadakimasu, which is like thanks for the food.
No. That's way too whatchamacallit. That's too tame. That's too PG. Tame. I don't remember what it is. I'm gonna have to find it later.
Was it Ochinchin Daisuki Desukido?
I think it was something like I like penis or something like that.
Yeah, Ochinchin Daisuki Desukido, which means I love dick.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Okay, that's what it's. That was a while ago, my friend.
I thought that was just last night.
Oh, well, I probably don't remember last night. So.
Yeah, there you go. Maybe it wasn't just. Maybe it was 2 nights ago.
2 nights. Okay.
Wow. Okay, so Bakos, he said, "What's this about you drinking whore sake?" It's not whore sake. It's horin sake. So it's a whore in sake, apparently. I don't know. It's fine. It's like not committed to being dry. So it's like a little dry, but not dry enough. I don't know. It's like they went halfway. It's like watching anime on Hulu, right? Where they censor out all the interesting stuff. Orgasmic says, "What would you do with a drunken sailor?" I wouldn't do anything with a drunken sailor. I don't know. Maybe that's directed to you guys. Would you guys do anything with a drunken sailor?
I would direct him to a place where he could find the Lord, sir.
If it was Sailor Venus from Bishoujo Senshi Sailor Moon, then I would absolutely do many things. But other than that, no.
Aren't they like 14 or something?
16, I think.
Oh, they're 16?
I don't know if that makes it better, but I think.
I guess it depends on what state you're in.
Hey, most prefectures of Japan, it's legal if they're 13. So.
Oh my gosh, that backwards country. So anyway, so tonight, if you guys didn't notice, we are talking about anime. We're talking about Japan. We are making fun of gaijin or something. I think that's a Japanese word, maybe. I don't even know. I don't know enough Japanese. All I know is that I watched anime a lot more about 15 years ago. And since then, I just haven't had as much time or people around me who are as interested. So I didn't watch it as much. And I certainly would not be spending like $300 on a box set of undubbed, unsubbed anime.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I definitely do. And gaijin, I believe gaijin in Japanese just means foreigner.
Yeah, but it's derogatory.
Yeah, like a derogatory term. I guess we're talking about gaijin cartoons.
There's someone in the chat who really wants me, Cody, to be reminded or informed of the fact that Anime Outsiders has a furry who has sex with animals or something.
Is it that guy? I think our stalker found the the stream. There's this like psycho dude. Is he have like Sue Slime in his name?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, this dude, he's stalking us. I don't know. I think he's an old stalker because we have stalkers because anime fans are damaged people, and if you make fun of things they like, they don't respond well, like at all. I don't know I think he's like one of our old stalkers under a new name. He's just going to everything that we do and calling me a furry. And
well,
he
this
just
one
does that.
This one
And he just keeps doing. He's done that in our Twitter mentions. He's in like the comments for every episode of our podcast now since like the last couple weeks. Like he's dedicated. He's not well. He's off his meds.
Yep.
Now they're saying
don't become
I think we need a
Maddox.
Tard Wrangler.
Do we need a stalker supercut? Don't be turning into Maddox.
I wonder. Actually, I have a couple theories of who he might be.
Oh yeah.
I'm actually kind of. It's a fun little mystery. I'm like watching what he does to see if he like leaves a hint as to which one he is. I'm thinking it's either this dude who used to go by Devin Wolf, who is a pedophile that was literally a black Chris Chan. Like he was a fat black guy with the exact, like when he opened his mouth, it was Chris Chan's voice. It was really uncanny. And he used to like go to like every place that me and the AO crew, like before we were AO, would hang out and like start arguments. And he had like the worst syntax. So I'm thinking it might not be him because this guy has better syntax than that guy.
He says he's new, so I don't know. I don't want to spend all day talking about Sue Slime.
Yeah.
By the way, welcome to the channel, Sue Slime. Thank you for watching. You will not find this channel to be overly friendly to zoosadis or anything like that. So if you are opposed to zoosadism,
maybe he's taking my girlfriend's online handle literally because she usually goes by Ducky or One Lucky Duck. So
sure.
maybe he seems unwell. So maybe he thinks she's actually a duck. I don't know.
I have no idea. Now he's not accusing you of being a furry. He's just saying
but he's done it.
Yeah,
I mean, it's who he's implying.
That could be. But yeah, I have no idea. But what I do want to say is welcome to the show, Sue Slime. I hope you enjoy it. We're going to talk about some stuff. I don't even know. Like, honestly, I've got a small amount of things planned to talk about, and that's mostly involving Dragon Ball Fighter Z because there's some legal stuff going on.
Dragon Ball Fighters. It's literally the Z it's like old 90s shit. It's Dragon Ball Fighters.
Yeah.
I mean, well, okay.
That is the actual pronunciation.
This episode will be available on cassette tape. No, so Dragon Ball Fighters, Fighter Z. I don't know. I've played it. I'm not any good at it because the combo strings get ridiculous. And I'm too old, but I do enjoy playing it. But so they've been basically removed from tournaments. Tournaments are not allowed to host Dragon Ball Fighters, and there's some suspicion and rumor as to why, but there's no confirmed reason because all of the tournament people, for some reason, are like cucking out and not disclosing any information as to why they're not hosting the game. Like they have the tournament planned, they have people signed up and enrolled. People have booked flights and stuff to prepare to go to these major gaming events, including like EVO. I think I don't know if EVO has canceled it yet. But
it's EVO. It doesn't stand for anything.
You
EVO.
can. I'm gonna call this stuff the wrong thing the whole show, and I'm gonna do it extra.
Well, I mean, you tagged the wrong Twitter account when you announced us.
I didn't though. Okay, so I typed in at Outsiders, not at Anime, and then it pulled up the old one, and when I clicked on it to autofill, it must have filled in the old one. And that,
for those who don't know, we had our Twitter suspended because we said bad words.
No, you didn't have your Twitter suspended. Don't say that on the stream. You decided to create a Twitter called Outsiders Anime.
Yes.
You did not
Our
have
Twitter
your...
was suspended by our own actions because we said bad words. We decided.
The FAGGOTS was not said. Also, yeah, he just created a new YouTube and a new Twitter and a whole new everything.
There you go. There you go. So yeah, I didn't mean to do that, but the autofill picked your old one because even though it's suspended, like I can still interact with it, which is
it was still on there. That was the one I was following actually. I didn't know that they had a new one. So
The current one is Outsiders Anime.
Okay, I totally understood Nick's mistake because I thought that it was the same account. I was following the old one and just never got any new updates.
Yeah, and that's I knew about the Switch. That's the weird thing is I like I said, I went and typed in Outsiders first, but it did the autocomplete for the old one. So it was dumb. So I apologize for that. But I got it right in the one with the link. So that's there's no excuses there. Okay, so True American Hero says talk about non Biori.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I don't. I had like 4 or 5 zingers that I couldn't pick one.
What's non Biori?
I could talk about non Biori, but the problem is I'm not a virgin, so I don't think I'm a real expert on those kind of shows.
What kind of show is this?
It's a slice of life.
It's one of those kind of shows. The kind of shows is like, hey, you want a show about nothing with a bunch of squeak toys that are all pastel colored, squeaking at each other, and maybe you could think about fucking one of them.
All right, don't know. Not non Biori. I have not finished it, but I think if you're gonna shit on slice of life anime, I think it's one of the more loose ones. Non Biori. Until I finish it, I'm not going to comment too much.
Slice of life is shorthand for no plot. This is just comfort food for shut-ins.
Sure, but I think it's one of the better ones. Non Biori, I'm not going to shit on it until I finish it.
This is not actual entertainment, but if you're looking for non-entertainment, this is one of the better non-entertainments.
Okay, explain Slice of Life to me.
Slice of life is basically you want to watch people do shit, not like do shit, but like just sit around and hang out. The end. There you go. Like imagine a reality show where the producers weren't trying to manufacture drama; it was just people in a house.
Oh, okay.
Have you seen Yokohama Shopping Log?
Yeah.
No, I'm talking to Cody. Have you seen Yokohama Kaidashi Kiko?
No.
Okay.
I value my time.
Well, slice of life, a lot of times, at least to me, it's a genre that is very stress relieving. And I know that you're working on a comic and doing a whole lot of shit, and Nick is a very busy man. They're usually just the kind of shows that you just sit down and watch and just kind of have like almost like an Iyashike. It's very stress relieving. Yokohama Shopping Log I put up there with non Biori. Yeah, nothing's going on and maybe it's not worth your time, but despite there not being any plot, it doesn't mean that you can't have fun. I have a lot of fun watching a lot of shows like that.
So are there ninjas, mecha, or like horrific demon murder in those?
No, there's not. None at all. Slice of life is always very like Cody said, there's no plot. He's absolutely right on that. It's usually just a very chill, I guess boring depending on the show aspect, but it's just a chill.
It makes me pull my hair out. You know, every time I've seen one, it's like, do something. God,
you really don't like slice of life anime.
I need a story.
Yeah,
that's all I want is a goddamn story. Tell me a story. There had to be some kind of end goal for the staff that you hired to make a television show. Even Seinfeld, the show about nothing, had plots.
Okay.
Yeah, there is some slice of life with plots. That's actually another thing I wanted to say too was a shout out to my boy Xander, who is basically Nick's biggest fan. I've been talking to him. He actually enjoyed our last little Weebstream because he noticed the difference between me, Nick, and Cody's anime taste, because my favorites are all like romance or mystery, and then he noticed that like Cody, he likes Ghost in the Shell, and Nick likes Macross is like mecha action and I guess giant explosions, and then I kind of counterpointed you guys with more lighthearted shows, which is slice of life, and I guess that's nowadays more my taste.
I don't
So,
know what's more lighthearted than Britai getting out, grabbing a pipe off of the Zentradi battle cruiser, and just smashing around a Veritech, like just toe to toe, unsuited. That's my Zen place right there.
Yeah,
so.
no, sorry. That was just my debate with the slice of life thing. I like a lot of slice of life, so you guys don't have to. But anyway, sorry, Nick. You can keep going.
No, that's fine. So if what you're saying about slice of life is true, and there's like genuinely no story, I don't understand how you would even write it. But what I will say is you don't always need a story or a plot to do entertainment. I think strong emotional reaction, which Cody, I think you're entertained by slice of life. By here you have a visceral distaste.
That's not entertainment. that's like saying, oh man, that guy really entertained me when he punched me in the stomach.
Well, maybe
it was a very entertaining experience.
I just don't
knocked in the gut.
I just don't get it. I just don't get your point, because slice of life, like Nick just said, it can touch some people.
But unless you need
like an effective pedophile, it can touch some people.
It can slick your butthole all night. I don't care.
If you want to elicit emotional reaction, you have to get me connected to these characters. In order to get me connected to these characters, you have to give me a reason to care. In order to give me a reason to care, you have to give me a reason to watch the show in the first goddamn place. In order to give me a reason to watch the show in the first goddamn place, you need to give me something worth watching. And a bunch of people sitting around living their lives ain't worth watching. Guess what? I do that every day.
Now, counterpoint. Let me.
Yep.
What if those characters are strong enough archetypes, right? They've got strong enough archetypal qualities, even if they're like a Venn diagram of different archetypes, but strong enough archetypal qualities to allow people from across the spectrum of audience to go ahead and identify strongly with a particular character, and then that allows them to kind of vicariously escape the drama that's in their own life with almost something that's mundane and identifiable. Like the characters if the characters are too well developed, then they'll be unique. It's like the Luke Skywalker theory, where Luke is the least interesting character in Star Wars for the whole purpose of allowing the viewer to put themselves in the hero's shoes and personify themselves, rather than identifying with these very strongly written characters like Han Solo and stuff like that.
But there were still strongly written characters around Luke that made the whole experience worth going through.
But there are strongly written characters in slice of life anime.
It's like a goddamn roller coaster, and like if you go or one of those like a theme park ride, and like a regular show where it's like you sit on the theme park ride, you got a boring protagonist to project yourself in, but you're going around all this stuff, and there's all this stuff being projected around you, and look at that, it's crazy, woo! And the slice of life is like, it's not even a roller coaster, just a straight trolley through a tunnel.
Yeah, but maybe someone needs that escape. Like maybe they've got a lot of drama and turmoil in their life, and what they need is a drop to normalcy. And I don't know.
Show. It's like I'm very stressed in my life. That's why I smoke weed. Still generally not a good idea.
But you still have to watch the shows. That to me
I really don't. Because I
get that you don't like slice of life anime. Like Yokohama Kaidashi Kiko is literally a show where there, like you said, and I know you don't like this, but there is no plot, and it follows a girl who is an android. The fact that she is an android is never explained, and it is in the post-apocalypse of Yokohama after being flooded, and it's just a 4-episode OVA, and nothing is explained, and it's one of the most stress relieving things I've ever seen. And kind of back to what Nick was saying is, like, sometimes they have strong characters. I think Non Biori has those, I think the Love Live series has those, despite that show's flaws. And there's a lot of slice of life shows that I think are a little bit more deep, despite you not liking them. I think that they do have heavy character development. And that, I guess, depends on what you classify as a slice of life anime. But there is several slice of life anime that do have character development.
Now,
It's basically just cutesy Real World or Jersey Shore. Just
That's
instead of everybody being a bunch of cunts, it's everybody being a bunch of fucking candy cane sugar shit.
It's mostly them being boring, but you have to watch enough slice of life shows to get the genre.
Like, you know,
that's really all I'm saying.
There's so much anime, and there's so much good anime. There's like I cannot fathom any reason, even if you're stressed, just you could there is low-key shows with great story and character development that doesn't rely on just let's watch this person go to the bathroom or some bullshit. Like, you could watch Spice and Wolf if you need something that's like low-key and stress relieving, because that has a story and that has character progression and that has an objective and that has a purpose to it. You don't need to just watch 4 girls at school, because half this shit's at school because Japan is messed up and they all want to be back in school because their adult lives are hell because their entire society is fucked.
And Spice and Wolf is great, but what you're misunderstanding is that there is other slice of life anime that aren't just for cute girls in school. I'm not talking about moe shows, which I know you don't like.
In school.
There is slice of life anime that is very good and very enjoyable, and I don't care. I don't give a fuck if it's going for the stress relieving plot. There is some that are very good.
I was saying,
I'll agree with you. Spice
for those of you out there listening that are sort of like, hey, let me see this anime thing. What's this about? If you see slice of life and your time is valuable to you, skip it.
I'll agree with that. I'll agree with that. But if you're deep into anime and you want some slice of life recommendations, come to me and Cody.
Well, what
no, not me. I'll just say skip it.
Go fuck yourself.
What I'll say is, I'm making some arguments here based on no knowledge. I would probably not watch slice of life anime. But I can see, just like from a literary perspective, trying to find the reason to create something that is really, really light on story to the point of it being mundane, and trying to find out, one, how you would write that, and like what your motivation would be to do it is kind of interesting. I might want to explore it. Not really like watching the show though. Maybe I'll just read like an essay about it.
It work as a comedy. Not like you follow these characters. Like, why do I give a fuck about Ritsuko at school? She goes, well, she has psychic powers. Why I give a fuck? Well,
but that's not all anime.
She makes it.
I guess
that's what most of it is. Like, yeah, it is hard. It is. You have to struggle to find a show, especially one made today, where the characters are not in school.
But my friend, me and you have seen enough anime to know that
you have to go back to get away from school.
There are some good
oddly enough.
And I guess one that I didn't like recently was Sora no Woto, or Sound of the Sky. That one was, I got super drunk with a buddy and watched it, got 8 episodes in, all over the internet. It had a high rating and I hated every fucking second of it. So I didn't like that one, but it was a different, I guess to Nick, it might be a better recommendation because he likes the mundane aspect of it. So
no, I didn't say I like the mundane aspect of it. I said it's an interesting exploration from like as a former writer, as someone who wanted to write professionally prior to getting out and having to feed a family. It's interesting to me in that respect, like just trying to figure out how you would make this compelling and what people would be looking for. But I'm not interested in consuming it at all. It just doesn't appeal to me. So trying to figure out who and why is what's.
See, my taste is way different than yours and Cody's, but I do like a lot of slice of life anime, despite me hating Sora no Woto. But yeah, you guys can keep going. Sorry.
No, it's fine.
I
know we had
defend
a
slice of life till I fucking die.
I know we had a law-related topic for this stream.
We're gonna get
in
there.
there somewhere.
Yeah,
we're gonna get there.
We'll get there. I'm sorry.
We've got time. We've got time. Bako says you should be playing Soul Calibur 6. I never really was a big fan of the Soul Calibur games. I liked Tekken, but I never liked Soul Calibur. Soul Calibur felt more button mashy back when I was playing Tekken. I don't know if it's still that way, but it felt...
I agree, because I'm actually a huge fighting game nut. And I played like Soul Calibur 2 and a little bit of 3, and I really didn't stick with it. There's a lot of things about it that felt bullshit, especially how easy it is to ring out and just lose.
Yeah.
That was the big thing that pissed me off.
Am I the only one who really only...
And I would ring out people because my main is Astaroth. And that was... You could do like 1-2 ring out. Like, it was ridiculous, but it was like, this game is so stupid. Like, you would get the ring out, but this game is so stupid.
I would always play... Killik was the guy with the staff, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would play him, and you could ring out pretty easily because if you press like 2 buttons together, he would do that attack that would just push him away, and you'd get like half the ring distance on that staff attack.
Yeah.
And
Soul Calibur.
Well, the new Soul Calibur...
Look how big 6 is, and it's really only big for the dumb character creator.
Yeah, I was gonna say the new Soul Calibur games, you can create your own character, right?
And that broke online in so many ways. Like, people that play games competitively and played Soul Calibur competitively were pissed about that, because you couldn't really... So many people were just using creative characters, which you can't use in a tournament. And
I never played online.
Yeah, and there was like, you couldn't, if you decide to go onto ranked, you couldn't set it to no creative characters, like only regular characters. So you just run into all these creative characters on ranked that would abuse, like, they make a small character with Astaroth's moveset. Like, or shit like that. Like, it was just... And then on the PC version, people managed to hack things to like break the size limit. So you'd have somebody with a giant axe, just like the big as the whole arena, or like they would... I mean, but I don't think it actually had a hitbox that big, but it would mess with your vision, or like hide themselves in a giant iridescent cube.
I think the last one I played was
Soul Calibur.
Soul Calibur 4 was, I think, the last one I played, so I guess I can't really say a whole lot about that. But I just remember making my own character and playing single mode. Tekken was fun. I played that a lot on, weirdly enough, early on the Game Boy. I played those games, and then I played a few on the PS2. But I'm way out of the stratosphere when it comes to Tekken.
I played the shit out of 3. I was really good at 3. I played a lot of 4, and then I just kind of fell off.
I didn't like Tekken 4 because they the last Tekken I played semi seriously. The last game before, or the last fighting game before Fighters, actually, was Tekken Tag. The first Tekken Tag.
Yeah, I remember Tekken Tag.
And I hated when it went to 4 and they added the wall to the stages, because Tekken 3 didn't have ring limits. You know, it was they had the unlimited ring size from Tekken 1, 2, and 3 and Tag. And I got so used to that. Then when I started playing, I played 4 a couple times, and it was like, oh my goodness, I don't know what to do here. And I've played Tag Tournament 2 a little bit, and I think it had walls. And I don't know. But when I'm talking about like Soul Calibur, I think I'm talking about Soul Calibur 2 at the latest, as the last one I played.
PlayStation 2, like the best one.
Best one was GameCube. You had Link.
Wait, they had Soul Calibur on GameCube? I did not know that.
Soul Calibur 2, yeah. Soul Calibur 2 on each system had a different guest character. PlayStation had Heihachi. Soul Calibur 2 on GameCube had Link, and then Soul Calibur 2 on Xbox had Spawn.
I'm a way bigger anime guy than video games. I can't remember that. Holy shit.
Fighting games are my jam.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah. Like I was excited for Dragon Ball Fighters, and to be honest, and kind of getting on the topic, I don't like what's going on with Fighters.
Me either.
But and I'm gonna get my personal thing out of the way before we get into the actual topic and the nitty-gritty of it. I'm not sad to see it go, because it's kind of a piece of shit. Like, I was really hyped for it and really enjoying it until I started trying, because whenever I play a fighting game, I try to play it on a competitive level, like good enough to where the only people that can kick my ass are like professional players.
Sure. Professional
and-
furries like Sonic Fox.
Yeah, well, with fighters, yeah.
From
So
what
are you
I've
saying
noticed,
you like to get spanked by a furry? Is that what's...
That would involve me playing with Sonic Fox, and I would rather blow my brains out
that would involve the
Then-
Spice and Wolf Dojin.
than
But
even
they
acting with him.
I kind of find the Dragon Ball Fighters game I don't think it would ever be as good as Dragon Ball, what was it called?
Tenkaichi 2?
Oh, it's better than those.
Budokai.
It's a much
Budokai.
it's much better than those because it's a more
is
put
it?
together. Yeah, much better, more put together fighting game. Those games are kind of clunky and just had these button strings.
I did
but-
not know that. I just remember playing them when I was little.
Yeah, fighters at first seems amazing. Like this is the Dragon Ball Z fighting game that everybody always wanted from the beginning. There's only one major fucking problem. That was like, I spent all these hours in the game, like, this is trash. The game they spent all this time with all these all the visuals and all the references and all the cool hype shit you could do, and they forgot to give you halfway fucking decent defensive options like every other fighting game on the planet knows to give you.
Really?
Yeah, the lack of a combo break is really, really frustrating.
And like you can just there's no neutral because you press a super dash button and then people say, just use down H. Like, do you know how fast that super dash is from not full screen, mid screen? Good luck doing that shit on reaction.
Yeah, the mid-screen neutral super dash is a big complaint I've heard going around right now.
And not only that, like everything in that game is safe. If you spend meter or call an assist, everything is safe. Because in any other fighting game on the planet, if you're blocking someone, you wait for that opening to stop blocking an attack. Not in Dragon Ball Fighters, because there is no opening, because they can spend meter or call an assist to make whatever they're doing safe on block. The block strings in that game are longer than the fucking combos. That feels like a goddamn sin. I feel like someone should go to jail for that. And what makes it even worse is that when you're blocking in that game, your character says one phrase and they will keep saying it the longer they block. So you're in this long block string where your character's like, not even close, 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 not even close. Like, this is fun. I'm glad I played this.
Well, that's your problem is you're too good at blocking. If you just get hit, you'll stop talking. Fighter Z, whatever. The one thing that I'm gonna go to the Dragon Ball Fighter game that I liked, which was not Budokai Tenkaichi. I did like Tenkaichi 2. I'm not gonna lie, on GameCube or on Wii.
In my opinion, that's the best one.
The one that was like 3, it's like a Dragon Ball fight simulator. Those were great.
Yeah,
those are great.
I played it on the Wii and I got really good at it. That was fun.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck the Wii. I played that shit on the PlayStation 2.
Man, the Wii version of Tenkaichi 3 was great because you actually did the fucking motions to do the supers.
Yeah,
you did a
fun.
Kamehameha with the Wiimote and nunchuck, and that ruled.
Oh,
yeah,
shit.
that was
I
cool.
don't think I ever played it on the Wii.
But but before that, they had Dragon Ball Budokai, not Tenkaichi.
Yes,
they had Budokai 1 and 2 on the PlayStation 2.
So good.
And you could actually, like, you started with base Goku. And you had to power up and actually, like, go Super Saiyan and all, go Kaioken, go Super Saiyan. And your character got faster and faster. And, like, when you were playing against Cell and you went to Super Saiyan 2... the action got so fast that it was hard to keep up. That's what I really, really wanted from Fighter Z. I didn't want to pick Super Saiyan Vegeta and Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta. I wanted to pick Vegeta and have opportunities to power up and get faster and get an expanded moveset. And I wanted that to be like, that's what I liked about the Dragon Ball fighting games, was varying up the playstyle mid-game and actually finding ways in the middle of the round to power up.
Yeah, I don't think that's feasible in a regular 2D fighter. Like Budokai was kind of its own thing. In a round 1, round 2, or the tag team in this case, like Marvel Capcom style tag team. I don't think that really is feasible.
No, but Budokai was a 2D fighter.
Well, yeah, but it also had like much longer life bars and a whole different system. It wasn't like a regular 2D fighter. I mean, it was technically a 2D fighter, but didn't play like one. That's one of the reasons I didn't like it. Like, I didn't like how it didn't have like the regular special move type inputs and supers and all that. It was like, it had this whole input system going on. And
I think capsules. I like, Nick, did you like with the original Budokai, did you like my at least my favorite part was the cut scenes, like the Z fighters fighting Nappa and
I
Vegeta?
hate all cutscenes as
You
a
don't
rule.
like cutscenes? Okay.
As a rule, I never
You're
got. Oh my
skipping shit.
god, I hate cutscenes so much.
I don't get the hate for cutscenes.
Yeah, I just remember growing up. I've seen every episode of the original Dragon Ball, all of Dragon Ball Z, and also Dragon Ball Kai. Playing the video game, seeing like the cutscenes with the Z fighters versus Nappa and Vegeta, and with the whole Piccolo death scene with Raditz. It was just, I don't know. I hold that kind of close to my heart, and seeing it in the video game when I was like 11 years old was.
I couldn't
cool.
get past because I was older at the time those games came out, and I
Yeah,
couldn't
you're
get past.
older than me.
Yeah, I couldn't get past the old dub actors and the old dub performances.
Ah.
Like I said, now they got new actors that are better, and the old actors can act now. But then those old voices just that turned me off of the Budokai games too. It's already like I didn't like the gameplay, and then I had those voices like, oh, let's go, oh, I'm gonna get you. Like, oh Jesus.
I'm talking about the ones from like a decade ago. Wait, how old were you?
I was in high school when the Budokai games came out.
Well, how old are you now?
33.
Oh shit. Okay, I'm 21. Okay.
Yeah, you're like barely. You're a baby.
It's like Nick was watching anime before I was born, but I happen to have seen more anime than him, which is bizarre.
Literally true. It's so embarrassing.
No, it's not. It's fucking badass.
No, but I hate cutscenes. I played Final Fantasy 11 for a while with some friends. On protest, I only played Final Fantasy 11 because my friends played Final Fantasy 11. It was like, well, I guess. And the most frustrating thing in the world is when you have required story missions that make you run across the entire flipping map for like 25-30 minutes of running through zones, and you get somewhere and you do a turn in and you have like a 10-minute cutscene that you have to just sit there and watch, and then you have to just run back. It's like, wait, this entire, I didn't fight anything. I didn't do anything. I hate it. I hate them so much.
Well,
I used to like cutscenes.
That's a bad example. Like Final Fantasy 11, I'm a big Final Fantasy nerd here, so I'm gonna speak to this. Final Fantasy 11 is a piece of shit. But Final Fantasy 14 is a much better at being a Final Fantasy MMO. Yes, it is.
It's okay.
There's no denying it. There's no fighting.
It's fine. No, Final Fantasy sucks at itemization.
Well, no, here's the thing.
Terrible.
Getting to what you're saying, like they're also much because I don't like MMOs in general.
No, EverQuest didn't. No. Hold on. I gotta address something in the chat. Gaddis Reinhardt says EverQuest was the same way. EverQuest did not have cutscenes. EverQuest did not have cutscenes in the OG EverQuest. Like, you did not run across and do a turn in and get a cutscene. You got a block of text, and that's fine. You didn't have to sit and watch a bunch of things. Now, maybe you did in some of the later expansions, but the original EverQuest, up through Velius and even, I think, Plains of Power, I don't think they had cutscenes yet. But no. We cannot. Trust me.
but I could say though, with the way that 14 did stuff like that, like they didn't make you run all this way. The travel's a lot more streamlined, so you're not like running for an hour to go watch a cutscene. There's cutscenes, yeah. It's story mode missions, so you can do them by yourself. And then they have the stuff that you do with people that doesn't have a lot of the cutscenes. There's like in the first, and I'm talking about A Realm Reborn, not when Final Fantasy, because when Final Fantasy 14 first launched, it was so abysmal they had to apologize for it. And
I played that. I played that retconned beta.
Yeah. I like that they incorporated that in the story too. That the world was actually destroyed. And like the land was reshaped by it and everything like that. Like they that whole thing. So but yeah, they do like they'll do mainly the big cutscenes in the main story missions so that you could do that on your own time. And there's not a lot of like tedious. Like, oh, this mission is just run for across the map for 10 minutes to watch a cutscene. It's like it's a lot closer together. The cutscenes are much better, so they're more worth watching, and they're not super long. And if there's only a couple times where they are super long, and when they are, the game actually tells you beforehand a bunch of cutscenes are going to play in order. Make sure you take some time for this one, and then say, okay, I'm ready, or I'll do this later.
I've
So
literally skipped every cutscene that is skippable in Final Fantasy 14.
I would say, though, Final Fantasy 14 has an amazing story. And let me tell you something. That game is red-pilled as fuck. Let me tell you about this shit. There's different quests for different jobs you can get and classes and shit.
I have a 70 Dark Knight and a 70, whatchamacallit, the other one that
so
Samurai.
So you know about this. So you know about the machinists.
Yeah, well, I never played a machinist, but yeah.
Well, here's the machinist quest line is an entire storyline. It's basically hooray for the First Amendment, because the whole plot line is like you have this the Ishgard the society in Ishgard was like it's like a noble caste system, and then you have the commoners, and the machinists want to give everybody guns so that everybody will be equal. And the nobles don't want this because they don't want the populace being armed, because that takes away the power they have, because they're the ones with all the knights. And the machinists want to arm the commoners. And there's a whole fucking plot line about how great guns are, and basically the entire thesis of the Second Amendment. There's an entire plot line about refugees wanting to migrate to this rich and prosperous city, and the government of the city initially wants to because they feel bad for everybody, and then some of the other people in the government have to say, hey, we don't have the resources to care for all these people. You can't just spend all our money on charity and all this shit. Like, there is an entire scene that is basically the modern-day refugee crisis and saying, no, you can't do that. This game is amazingly red-pilled. It is fantastic. Also, the stories, because there's multiple storylines, are fucking great. I did not expect them to be that good. I was planning on skipping all the cutscenes, and then I started just watching and like, holy shit, this is actually really fucking good.
I feel really bad about the Final Fantasy franchise, because I got like the original DS Lite. My grandparents knew that I was super into anime when I was little, and they bought me the game, and I played it, and it was super confusing to me, and I never got into it since. So even as a kid, I haven't played a whole lot of Final Fantasy, so I don't know anything about it, other than they had a few anime adaptations, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I never did get into the video games. You guys,
and you shouldn't. They're not any good. Don't listen to Cody. They're terrible. No, I'm just kidding. No, I want to say though, Gator is here in the he's in the hangout.
Up,
Get in here, bub.
What's going on? Does my mic sound like complete and total garbage?
We can hear you just fine, buddy.
All right, yeah, I'm sitting on like 1 megabit a second down, which is just double of what you get with dial-up, because my ISP's garbage.
Yeah,
Jesus.
That's you were showing me the numbers today, man. Did not look good. Did not look good.
It's not a good look.
You say you're with Verizon? Because I had Verizon, and that was I miss it. It was really good. I had FiOS, but like it was really good. I never had numbers that low.
No,
I don't know what the hell's going on.
You might need to call someone to look at your cable. I think I saw somebody say this in the Twitter responses, but you might have actually a worn cable. That would explain it.
Right. Nick, did you still want to talk about the Toei Animation and Dragon Ball game?
We'll get there.
Okay. I didn't know. So we got way too off, because I don't know shit about Final Fantasy really.
Oh no!
Final Fantasy is really good, except for those several years where it was dog shit. But it's good again.
It seems super fucking boring.
It is. So welcome to the show, Gator. Glad to have you on. Glad you could make it. And if your internet craps out or whatever, we won't hold that against you.
No, not at all.
You should.
Well, I mean, I guess
ISPs.
Maybe you should have paid your bill or whatever. I don't know. No, I'm just kidding.
And I pay them too much for what I get.
Yeah,
cancel your cable and get 4K internet. That's what I did.
You're getting 50 down, man. I just got upgraded to out in my area. They finally got gigabit internet.
I have gigabit internet. That's the problem.
Yeah, they should be refunding your money then.
Damn right.
Internet service. You got that much upload speed. You are bending over and taking it up the ass at this point. You need to be making angry phone calls.
I've been on the phone with them literally like half the fucking day, and they're just like, "Oh, it's just a service interruption." I'm like, "Bullshit! It's just a service interruption."
Yeah, it's a service interruption that's messing with my service. So please pay me now.
He sounds good though. I think he's good.
Yeah, you sound fine.
You're coming through okay.
Yeah.
So
Well, that's good. Maybe Hangouts' compression is just good enough.
yeah,
Maybe
hopefully.
it's nearly as fuck.
I try not to give Google any credit, but maybe they did something right. So Orgasmic asks, this is a while back. He asked, what about Girls und Panzer? I like it because I'm autistic and I like tanks.
That I accept that explanation, but if you're not autistic about tanks, there's no reason why. Girls und Panzer is literally, you want to see lollies drive tanks? You want to see them drive tanks for 20 episodes, or how many episodes it is?
I think there's several movies now too.
Yeah,
Girls and Panzer is Cody's right. It's lollies driving tanks. Now I can't speak too far into it because I haven't watched all of them, but it's very Japan. It's very 2010 plus vibes of anime. Yeah. Cute girls and tanks is all it is.
And not even in a cool way. Like hot baby. I miss like old. I hate to be one of those guys like anime used to be better than it is now because they still make good shows, just not many. But like I miss when it used to be about hot babes and blank with anime instead of like
Black Lagoon.
Instead of like little girls and blank. That's just weirding me out that that's the direction Japan is going. Because it used to be like fucking chicks and leotards with big tits and big hair and fucking sci-fi shit with guns and everything. Now it's like,
you mean Tenchi Muyo?
Yeah, now here's like we got a 12-year-old in a leotard. Like, put on some pants, little girl. I don't like where this show's taking. I don't like where this nation is going right now. Shinzo Abe is not doing his job. This is why the birth rate is so low. Everybody's a pedophile. Scared away all the children.
There's way too much moe crap in Japan.
Yeah, I will say Girls in Panzer is if you're drunk, it's goofy as fuck. And it can be a good time, but I don't know the entire story behind it. If there is a story, that I really don't know.
Does it matter? Like, there's a story in Dance in the Vampire Bun. That doesn't make it any less of a piece of shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's lollies with tanks. I'll agree with you there. It's just girls and tanks. That's all you need to know.
Didn't they have
what they did? They came up with the idea. It's like, okay, we want to make an anime about lollies. Let's come up with a gimmick. Oh, the gimmick is that they're all actually named after tanks and are also tanks themselves.
Yeah.
Well, are they tanks that are over 18?
Of course not. This is Japan.
These are World War II tanks. No, I'm just
kidding.
In
the anime, they literally wear schoolgirl uniforms, so obviously not.
That's weird. Didn't they have tank police?
Japan's
Wasn't that
weird.
already chicks and tanks?
Yeah, that was like old Japan where it was hot chicks and tanks, and it was quirky and funny. Like I don't think Tank Police was great, but it wasn't terrible. It's kind of thing like it's great if you're a teenager, but I watched it when I was older. I was like, this doesn't hold up as well. But so it is peak. Like if you're blank teen years old, it is perfect for you.
So on the subject of what you were saying, Cody, Ryan English asks, why is all the good anime from the early 2000s? Is there anything good nowadays other than Sword Art Online?
Jesus fucking Christ. Are you shitting me?
That's what he said.
It's clearly sarcasm, my dude. Well, I have recommended last time I was on a show called Garo Vanishing Line. Came out, I think 5 years ago. No, I don't think it was that. I think it was 2. Yeah, 2 years ago. It was incredible, phenomenal, the kind of show that I didn't think we were going to get anymore. A 20-some episode series that was phenomenally animated with an engrossing story and amazing characters, and the main character is manly as fuck. I can't say there's no flaws to that show besides like one little thing later on, and it's not even that big a deal. I'm not even joking. There's good shows. It's just we've said it at AO. It's one of the reasons we started AO. Besides the fact that the anime fandom and industry are terrible, 90% of anime is crap.
90% of everything is
crap. But like when anime is really bad, it's a special kind of really bad that's like it's almost an accomplishment in and of itself. Like you look at, let's say, American television, even with the most social justice preachy shit, some fucking, I'm gonna make a horror anthology about people in MAGA hats. Like, as bad as that is, at least there's no like half naked little children like spread eagle on some kind of machine or something. Like, it's not to that. Anime go like, well, no, it's not real, so we can do what we want. Let's have naked children. Let's just fucking get really creepy. All the camera angles are right up everyone's cooter, and there's no plot, and everybody has saucer eyes. There is just a bunch of it's just the most degenerate shit at its worst. And you almost got to applaud it. Like, that is a special kind of bad that I didn't think you could do and get away with it and not have people look into your permanent record. Like, what the fuck?
So I got a question for Gator. Yeah, Gator, before you were on, we kind of established that each of our respective like anime genres. I like the mecha and action packed anime. Cody likes slice of life anime. And
How dare you? How dare you besmirch my good name, good sir? I will not be slandered on this show.
And Landon is into more of like the lighthearted
romance
anime. What if you had to classify your preferred genre or anime type, what would it be?
It would be JoJo. So like badass shonen fights.
That's a good. I'm telling you, man, you would love Vanishing Line. You should check that shit out. Vanishing is basically it's fucking hardcore Kamen Rider for adults.
Oh shit! Okay, that sounds like it's right up my alley.
I have to tell you, I said this on the last stream. I'm gonna have to tell you, Gator. This is the first 5 minutes of the first episode of Garo Vanishing Line. Starts out everything red skies. It takes place in like in a fictional American city. The whole thing. It's like one of 3 series, animated series from this Garo franchise. You don't have to watch anything else really. It's very self-contained. You can get all the information from just that one. Starts out red sky, this kind of pseudo New York City, and there's a woman. She's being held in like a fucking like a water tower on the top of a building, and there's a monster made of tits just looming over her. And then all of a sudden, and then you see all these other women's corpses lying around, and then you hear like a guy call out and get his attention, and the tit monster turns up to see our protagonist, a giant hulking mountain of a muscle man named Sword. And like, I don't remember what he says. Titty monster rushes its sword. Now, you think anime fights? Is there going to be some beams? Is there going to be some glyphs? Nope. He just beats the shit out of this titty monster with his bare fucking hands. And this isn't like cheap anime shonen whippity whippy. No, this is fucking incredibly animated. When he punches that thing, you feel the impact. Just beats the shit out of the titty monster.
This sounds so bad that it's good.
Until they go off the side of the building, and he punches the titty monster so hard that he punches its head clean off.
Welcome to anime.
Then pile drives its headless corpse onto a parked car. Then he goes off and goes back to his huge skull motorcycle where a hot, big titty blonde was waiting for him. And he comes back, and he has a thing throughout the series. Whenever he sees a nice pair of tits, he gives thanks. He puts his hand together and he says, "Thank you for this bounty." And then he gives thanks for the woman's wonderful tits, and he gets on his bike, and the woman gets on his lap, and he drives off, some rock music playing, and then the opening credits cut in.
But the big reveal is when he punches the head off the monster, there was a note that inside that said, even though this looks like it's 2,000 years old, it's actually 12, and now you're going to jail.
No, it's the other way around.
No, not for this one. That was the big reveal.
I'm actually curious, Cody. I believe correct me if I'm wrong. I think the last thing I watched was from you, where it was a video about Fooly Cooley. Correct me if I'm wrong. Do you also hate Fooly Cooley?
Yeah, it's garbage.
Yeah, me too.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. All
He's
right,
a
guys.
piece of shit. Fooly Cooley.
Hold on. I'm gonna ruin my reputation right now.
Okay.
I bought the full manga series knowing it was popular, even after over a decade of watching anime. I read four volumes of the manga. I said, all right, this is kind of obnoxious. And then I fucking watched the first 4 episodes. Mind you, I am the biggest Studio Gainax fan out there. And for me, this might sound really bad, but like getting through 4 episodes should not be that hard. Getting through 4 episodes of Fooly, like I'm talking the original Fooly Cooley, not
I'm with
progressive.
you.
It was so hard. Haruko is fucking obnoxious. It was one of the worst shows I have ever seen. I don't get it at all. I feel fucking violated.
You have raped my opinions out of my soul, good sir.
Thank you. I hate Fooly Cooley so much. I'm sorry.
No, don't you think it's the?
I'm sorry, anime chat. I hate Fooly Cooley.
Don't you love when the girl with the huge lips honks at you like a goose? Because that's her, and that's her voice in both languages. So these fucking nerds can't even say, "Oh, that's just the dub." No, that's both languages. So they Takin.
It's like
Takin.
Gainax, like they made a Bitabashi shopping arcade and Koreshi Kanajo no Jijo. I love all of those shows.
God, why are anime titles 12 pages long?
Go fuck yourself, Nick. Sorry, I'll shorten it for you. Kare Kano, or his and her circumstances. Gainax and Trigger shows, they all reference each other. A lot of the same directors are there. I love those shows, but Fooly Cooley, I don't get it. It's so fucking bad.
Fooly Cooley feels like it was written by a kid at Newgrounds.
Thank you. I hate it so much. I'm so sorry to everyone who likes Fooly. It was so fucking. I actually had an aneurysm trying to finish it because I felt like a piece of shit because I got to episode 4 and I was like, why the fuck? Like, Gainax, I'm sorry, I love you, but this is the most obnoxious shit I have ever seen.
It's pretty fucking bad.
It's bad. I don't like Fooly Cooley. I'm sorry. You guys can continue.
But yeah, everybody go watch Garo Vanishing Line. Like
just watch
I need
that.
more people to watch this because not enough people watch it, and that just drives me up a wall. It's so good. Like it's already fucking extreme and cool, and then like, oh, the characters are well written and the story is compelling. Like there's
says you the guy who shit on Go Sick. Are you fucking kidding me?
Like it's just
you're gonna sit here and say
you heard me, boy, with your little girl detective in her little dress. You kiss my ass.
The most masterful, well-paced 2-core.
Man, you talk about masterful. It's
24 episodes.
Shit, boy. I'm
Man,
over here.
You guys are way bigger weebs than I have ever.
I'm over here spreading gospel.
I'm with you, Gator. These guys are nuts.
I'm trying to enrich Gator's life over here. Give him some of that. Give him some of that good shit. I'm opening my trench coat with all my good shit.
Did you finish Go Sick?
No, because I didn't like it.
All right, well, that's all I have to say.
Why would I finish a show I didn't like?
Well, because it's the best anime I have ever seen.
I'm over here trying to enrich the people, spread the gospel of that good shit.
What did you guys think? Have you seen? I'm going to pronounce it wrong. Nemosine?
Namasine? Is that the one? Is that the one where the main villain has to become a hermaphrodite to get the ultimate power and shit? And
Something like that. The chick.
And then
I remember the
and then
chick
like some
die.
some like little girl gets raped, and then like some other woman gets like chucked into a goddamn airplane turbine or something, like the most.
Yeah, but she can't. She like can't die. She's like immortal or whatever.
Yeah, it was.
And so she can get hacked up, but she always comes back.
Yeah, that whole show is just. This is a serial killer's fetish show. I shouldn't be watching this. I'm on a list now. I'm on a fucking list.
No, that one's safe. It's on Netflix or whatever.
Yeah, that's why Netflix is. That's how it's tracking people.
I dropped that show harder than my balls when I turned 12. I did not like it.
It's like I remember episode 5 just ends with spontaneous little girl rape. Just what were you doing today? I know what we're doing, raping this kid.
Kind of sounds like Maho Shoujo's site. The second rape comes in, I'm just like, well, I'm a little too old for weird Japanese culture, fucking medium animation.
It's just Namasine. It's just nah. I'm
good.
I'm a good boy. I don't fantasize about hacking women up. So this show's really not. I'm not the target audience for this show. I don't have.
You guys are going into the weird fucking part of Japan.
Yeah, I don't have a rape
with My Hero Academia, my 7 Deadly Sins. You guys can keep your weird fucking girl shit.
I No, I
don't
watched.
want
I watched the first 1 or 2 episodes, I think, of that Nemo Sign or whatever. It was
Like,
like
you didn't get to 5.
no.
Because I think you might get on a list if you get to 5. 5 is when it just ends with spontaneous little girl rape.
That's unsettling.
Don't go past 3.
It gets to a point. It's like, okay, well, you've clearly committed to this show. Here's all my weird fetishes.
Yeah.
Would you like to see my dungeon?
Well,
I have one.
I'm okay. I'm okay with dungeon. That's fine. But no, the show. I mean, it was just not compelling. That was my problem with it. I didn't want to keep watching it.
Yeah.
Wait, he's okay with dungeons. Did you watch Don Machi? Nick?
What's the English title of that?
Yes, please use English titles. It's driving me crazy. Have you seen Dookie Dookie Machine? Have you seen Slobodobo?
Have you seen Slick and Eat My Ass? Dick Masterson Eats Ass? No, it's Is It Wrong to Pick Up Girls in a Dungeon?
Oh, that thing.
No, I've never seen that.
Oh God.
Don Machi, blah blah blah, long name. It's actually very good, and I think there's a new movie coming out this year.
I mean, that just always struck me as basically like, are you that kind of nerd? Are you just horny and obsessed with fantasy shit, and like that's your 2 main defining traits? Here's the show for you.
No, wait, have you
Somebody
seen?
send that shit to Sargon.
That might be like his. Well, no, because I think the girls are girls. I don't think anyone has a dick, so I don't know.
True.
Wait,
True. You lost him.
Have you seen Don Machi, Cody?
I saw like one because sometimes I entertain the idea of like watching a terrible show to do like an AO article, or the one time when I live tweeted me watching that terrible slime anime.
Oh yeah.
And I tried that when I was like, you ever watch a show that just feels like if I watch too much of this, I'm gonna get my virginity back?
All right, well, you're okay. Well,
that's what that felt like.
That's your mistake, because that was the same thing as to where you could judge me with Overlord, because I thought it was boring as fuck, and you were like, "Oh, you're a crazy person," or whatever you said. Don Machi, yeah, I thought it was boring as fuck. Don Machi actually. It is not really. It wasn't like this weird like I don't have a girlfriend show. It's actually pretty good. It's
so much of the series is here's the big titted girl that hangs around main
characters.
She constantly has a ribbon tied around her tits to press him.
You have not seen Don Machi. It's actually really good. It's not that at all. They have very, very in-depth characters, very, very detailed.
Oh, they're detailed, all right. They got details. They got contours.
Well, Hestia is very detailed, of course, but no, it's not really like even a romance. It's actually a pretty it's a pretty encouraging
romance. Just look at these titties. There was just so much of the shows. Look at them. I mean, I'm seeing them. They're very well animated. I guess they're not even that well animated.
I would respect your opinion after you watch it, because it's actually a very it's a pretty heartwarming show, and it's very encouraging and in depth, and I like it a lot. I think you should check it out.
I will probably not.
Fair enough. I guess I've seen more anime than you.
With that being said, Deep Fried Lettuce says this is a high IQ stream of culture.
Well, I'm trying, Damon. I'm trying to spread some gospel.
High IQ stream of autism is what I would say.
That's probably true. Gator, are you drinking tonight, buddy?
Not at the moment. I should be.
Yeah, it makes the anime chat when you're like me and you're like I've watched like Ninja Scroll and stuff, and then they start talking in Japanese with titles that are 12 pages long. I recommend.
That's how you know when a show is bad. We talked about this.
Yeah,
a good show has a punchy title. I can't think of one good show except for one, and that's because the title was a joke on this kind of thing, where the title was long. Like a good show has a punchy title. A long title means that it's the whoever's behind is insecure about their product, so they have to like over explain it or over get into it. Whereas a good confident series just hits you with a simple title.
You're talking about a lot of light novel anime adaptations. I'm assuming you haven't seen as much anime as I have then, because that I totally disagree.
Well, I'm talking about today. I'm talking about in this day and age, because long titles are a recent thing. Like back in the 80s, 90s, even into the 2000s, you didn't have super long titles. Maybe something like The Melancholy of Haruhi Suzumiya, but that's terrible. So there you go. There's my thesis.
Finally, somebody that agrees.
Yeah, that show is hot fucking garbage.
Never
I
even heard of
remember
that.
being on the A threads when Haruhi was going on, and I gave it a chance, and because I wanted to like watch it with everybody else, and I was watching it, and we got to the Endless 8, and I was sitting back more entertained by A than I was by the actual anime, because I'm like,
Wait.
man, this anime is trash. Like, I get the sci-fi element and the time travel, the time loop, and the whole Haruhi creates her own universe, and when she gets bored with it, she destroys it. Like, I got all that shit, and I was like, I mean, that could be a cool concept for an anime, but man, you
Not this
really
one.
just fucked it up.
Yeah.
Well, did you guys watch the disappearance of Haruhi Suzumiya?
No, because when a show
No.
is bad, I stop watching it.
Okay, well, if you think Haruhi is bad, then you're a fucking moron. The melancholy of Haruhi Suzumiya literally changed anime character designs. So
Yeah, for the
I-
worst. Have you seen what anime looks like now?
do you watch 70 different shows a season? Yeah, most of it looks bad, but anime looks the best it ever has. Did you watch Violet
Yeah, the
Evergarden?
The problem I have with Haruhi isn't the designs, it's the plot. The plot
Yeah.
just jumped the shark halfway through it. They've had the same fucking episodes over and over and over. They redrew those scenes over and over and over.
Even before Endless 8, they played the episodes out of order, and they decided the first episode to play wasn't anything to introduce you to the characters. It was the character's student film. Then, as you start watching, like, we're following the adventures of an omniscient, omnipotent cunt.
Omnipotent.
Yeah, an omnipotent cunt, and her satellite cuckboy.
Ha!
And and some moe blob, and like just the most generic anime character. No, but she's actually a time traveler. She's the fucking I'm the quiet girl that always has the half-open eyes. Look, that's her. That's the archetype. And you have the archetype that makes me want to fucking kill myself.
So you hated Haruhi before the Endless 8. Am I getting that right?
Fucking episode 1.
Okay, so you hated. Okay.
I got 2 Endless 8, and I was already kind of turned off by it by then. But then it just became about watching the shit show taking place on A.
Sure. Yeah, on A. Yeah. Oh, that was a big thing. So
it was so funny.
I just really like Kion, and I watched the anime several years ago, so I guess I can't really defend it super hard, but I really did like the disappearance of Haruhi Suzumiya.
I mean,
but
basically,
I'm also a huge Kyoto Animation fan.
It set the
so
precedent
I guess
for Kyoto
that's
Animation.
why I get very defensive about it.
It set the precedent for Kyoto Animation's output, which is basically
Absolutely.
incredibly well animated trash. Where it's just like you want to see just all of Kyoto Animation's shows the same thing. Here's a group of girls being a group of girls, and we have meticulously animated it. Like, okay, this is very well animated show about 5 girls in a band. Here's a very meticulously animated show about 5 girls in trumpet class or whatever the fuck it was. Band camp.
That's
like,
Hibike Euphonium.
Yeah, like
Or
this is
K-On.
This is every show they do. It's just meticulously animated group of girls doing fucking nothing.
See, he's
okay. Hold on, I got
jumping on the slice of life thing. Kyoto Animation is breaking new ground in animation. Now, if you don't like their shows, I find that perfectly
If you could
respectable.
get their animators to animate something written by somebody else, you could actually probably make something good.
Well, what did they do? They also did Free and what?
Well, that broke the mold. It was 5 guys doing fucking nothing.
No, they did Full Metal Panic.
Well, yeah, I think they did. Was that theirs exclusively, or did they just help with that?
I believe I don't know if they did the original, but I know they fully adapted all of the new ones now. Now
I'm
that
talking
I don't,
about they're the Kyoto Animation originals.
oh, because they're like Aaron Canon. Okay.
Yeah, it's all that kind of shit.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, you're right. It's very girls anime. Yeah, I get you guys aren't into that, but I still find those shows very good, and I disagree on the melancholy part of Haruhi Suzumiya being bad, but whatever.
And God, the
sorry,
fandom. Nothing really makes our anime out to, because like I said, one of the reasons we started AO was because the anime fandom is shit, and we needed like an oasis because we hate these people, and nothing really encapsulates how awful they are more than the fervor that was around that show. Like they were damn
Yeah.
near actually worshiping it. And it's like, I am mad that this is just the internet because I need to bully you in person. I'm not even a really big guy, but I will do the job, God damn it, because someone has to. You clearly weren't bullied enough.
Sure. I just
Holy
I don't
shit.
know. I've been watching anime since I was 7 years old, and I'm a huge fan of the medium and Kyoto Animation. I think last stream I was on with you, you said you wanted cartoons to grow up with you, and I think Kyoto Animation is kind of doing that now.
But it's not. When I said I wanted cartoons to grow up with me, part of growing up is
the plot. Sure.
Yeah,
But
being able to appreciate something at a higher level than just I don't know why just people dick around.
But you got to remember, the feats of the animation is important.
It's
Now,
not. You can
the fact that-
meticulously animate a dog taking a dump. Your end product is I can watch a dog take a dump. I don't care how meticulously animated the dog's dump is. It's still a dog taking a dump.
Yeah, it's still a dog taking a dump, but wait until they make that show that does connect.
That sounds
with you.
like Pop Team, like something Pop Team Epic would do.
Yeah, but that would
Pop-
make it funny. You know what I mean? It's like that's
I fucking hate Pop Team Epic.
man, get the fuck.
Hold on.
All right,
Let me
take it back to Nick.
We gotta.
Cody,
I gotta
we
catch
just
up
gotta
on.
debate this shit sometime,
Ignite
dude.
this
You
man.
need to learn your shit.
Immolate
Man.
this man. So we'll just tell everybody he's protesting the Vietnam War. Just
Okay,
immolate this man.
sounds good.
At
No,
this
he's
point,
freeing
lick my
Tibet.
butthole.
No, okay, so I gotta catch up on some of these chats here.
Yes.
Kyle Ferry says my rankings of whose legal opinions I value the most. 1 is Stella the Legal Beagle. 2 2 is Russell Greer. Let's all sue Taylor Swift. 3 is Within the Law Macaw, which I think is supposed to be me. 4 is Legal Eagle, which I did win over him, so that's good. And 5 is Ruth Bader Ginsburg. And I don't know why you have a corpse in your top 5, but that's okay. How would you change these rankings? 1, I would remove Ruth Bader Ginsburg because she died back in 1976. Legal Eagle, I would move to number 5. Within the Law
I
Macaw.
love Ruth Bader Ginsburg's old TV show, Tales from the Crypt. That was a good one.
I think Nick needs to collab with Legal Eagle because he loves him so much.
Oh, shut. Yeah, I'm going to. You, sir, are about to get screamed at. I should, of course, be number 1 because I always represent that I know every answer all the time and never try to talk to experts and never say, this is just my opinion. That's out of my jurisdiction. I never say that. So you should always put me number 1. Russell Greer should be above Legal Eagle, but 4. Stella the Legal Beagle can be number 2. Ink Penification says Fairy Tale is pure trash. Change my mind.
I don't disagree whatsoever. The manga is fantastic, but Fairy Tale is the same product as Naruto Shippuden, and I think me and Cody talked about this on the last stream with One Piece. It's way too fucking long, and I'm not gonna watch all of it. Fairy Tale kind of blows dick. The manga's good though.
That's just like your opinion, man. I like Fairy Tale.
Oh, do you? Okay, well that's fine. I would say read the manga. I don't.
I did.
Give a fuck about the anime. Like I have a T-shirt of it. I'll wear it. I'll rep Fairy Tale. But that's just because of the manga, not the show. The show can go fuck itself.
Okay.
Once again, the show suffers from the same problem a lot of shows do, is that they just they catch up, and so they have to do endless fucking filler, and it gets really bad with the show. A
lot of shonen manga have that problem. One of my favorites that hasn't had that problem, which is my second favorite anime of all time, is Tennis no Oji-sama.
Damn it, English titles.
Damn it, sorry. The Prince of Tennis.
Prince of Tennis is a show?
Yeah.
Oh, God, I hate anime.
That's an old one. That's like, that is
old.
popular.
Actually kind of a popular show, yeah.
Yeah, that's popular with like housewives and shit, like Fujoshi, like the middle-aged women. Because there's two kinds of like fucked up fans in Japan and overseas, but they in Japan. There's the otaku fan. there's the otaku. There's the otaku who are usually in their 20s or 30s, and then there's the fujoshi who are like their 30s and 40s, and they're usually like housewives, and they'll watch shonen shows to like drool over the boys and shit. They like drool over anime boys.
Oh God! So Japan is broken for both genders.
Yep.
Are you saying the Prince of Tennis is that now?
That's been fujoshi, like big with the fujoshis forever.
Okay.
Yeah, they've been.
The Prince of Tennis is big for fujoshis, but I'm talking about the reason it's out of the almost 700 anime I've finished, the reason it's my second favorite anime of all time was because I fell off of anime in like 8th grade and I picked it back up. And the Prince of Tennis, I just clicked on like a random anime on like an illegal streaming site. And I have seen every episode of the Prince of Tennis. And the first 2 seasons are one of only 3 anime I've rated a 10 out of 10. And there's other adaptations that have been coming out since I think 2015. And then they just announced another film just a couple days ago. The Prince of Tennis, I'm not a sports anime guy. I dropped Kuroko no Basket. Never seen Haikyuu really. You know, I'm not a big.
Ice Shield 21.
Say again.
Ice Shield 21.
Ice Shield 21. I dropped, but out of all those sports series, the Prince of Tennis, I've seen every episode that has came out so far, and it's a show that means a lot to me. I have very rare versions of the shonen manga and the magazines. I really dig the Prince of Tennis. So yeah, that's my favorite shonen. You want to call it a shonen sports series? I don't know. That's one of the ones that means the most to me. It's like I said, my second favorite anime of all time, and there is hundreds of episodes and dozens of movies. So if you guys have a lot of free time, fucking check that shit out.
And that sounds like every anime I've ever heard of. There's there's hundreds of episodes and dozens of movies. I remember back in
not wrong.
For the only good ones though,
especially shonen.
The Prince of Tennis is really good. I'm wearing a Fujimine middle school T-shirt right now. The Prince of Tennis is to me it's special. I think it's worth checking out.
Back in the 90s, my friend brought one of our mutual friends brought him Sailor Moon. It was a garbage bag full of VHS tape. Just absolutely stuffed full of them.
You're back in the day, Cody. You might be in the same camp with Nick. Did you guys have to deal with like the acid wash like VHS tapes, like trying to find subtitles for anime like a decade ago?
Yeah. Oh, dude, my buddies were importing tapes like for Evangelion, whatever you want to criticize on it, even though it's based on like Evangelize. Evangelion, they were bringing in one tape at a time. Cowboy Bebop, they were bringing in one tape at a time. Hootie Cootie, they were bringing in one tape at a time. I didn't watch it.
Days, it was like, fucking you in order to get anime, you had to get like 3 episodes on a VHS tape that cost like what, $20? Like,
yeah. Wait, sorry, Nick. Was it
dark times?
Was it Fooly Cooly on Toonami?
It might have been, but
when it was on Adult Swim.
Adult Swim. Okay, yeah.
When it first came out, like I'm talking episode 1, I believe my buddy bought the imported the VHS, and that's about the time that I kind of like. I think that was right when I was right when we graduated high school, if I remember right. That would have been 2000.
Jesus fucking Christ! You graduated when I was 3 years old.
Yeah, and so that's when that's about the time that I stopped watching because we went separate ways, so to speak, logistically, and so maybe it was before that though, because that would have been DVDs at least. I don't know. I don't remember.
I've been around the digital period of anime, which was, I think, what was it, 2001 to 2004 when the DVD boom came in. My first anime was Metal Fighter Miku, which and props to my father because he bought this for me when I was 7 years old, which is why I like I said, someone make a super cut of the meme of me the last Weebstream talking about I've been watching anime for 13 years. But He bought me he had a buddy. I remember he was the short, black, bald guy. I can't remember his name, who worked at a Blockbuster, and he collected DVDs and VHS tapes. And he bought me Metal Fighter Miku, which is a very obscure anime. And he got it for me because it's kind of like a Power Rangers mecha uniform wrestling anime. And I'm a huge wrestling fan. So he got that for me, and I watched it. And following that, I actually watched a lot of different anime on VHS tapes growing up. So yeah, that was cool.
Speaking of that, Baki is now out on Netflix.
No.
No, it's not, or no, don't watch it.
No, don't watch it. Don't infect Baki on these good people. These are good people watching this stream. Don't do that to them.
I liked Baki the OVA when I saw it back in like 1997.
Are you aware? Okay. I'm gonna tell you a little bit about Baki because y'all are gonna enjoy this Gator. I think you might enjoy this too. If you don't already know, you might already know. Baki the Grappler, the actual manga. I mean, the series itself, divorced from its creators, basically just shirtless men punching each other, which you can get a lot better in Kengan Ashura. Baki is a poorly drawn manga that's still poorly drawn 20 years into its run by a crazy Japanese jingoist that's just really mad at America for having beaten beaten Japan's ass.
You said this on the last stream.
Yeah.
Because all the Japan fighters are terrible. And
and he's mad about that. And like
the writer is obviously pissed because
I don't remember everything I said in the last stream because it was a while ago and it was long. But yeah, there's like a whole thing where like Baki's dad abducted George W. Bush and made fun of him. And in the Baki universe, Hillary Clinton won the election. And like the Japanese, the real reason America lost Vietnam was because Japan sent Baki's dad. And he's just so strong. He's stronger than an atom bomb. And so they covered up the real reason because America.
That's because he has the demon face back.
Yeah, America couldn't take the humiliation of losing to Baki's dad, so they covered it up with a different story. But the real reason is that Japan's better than America. Shut up. Like, that's Baki. That's a half of what Baki is even about. Is just this crazy man, just bitter that Japan sucks.
It sounds better than most of the anime you guys have discussed, frankly.
Well, I mean, if you're gonna gawk at it, there's entertainment there. I mean, you just have to see the art alone. The man cannot draw. It's been 20 years. He still can't draw the human form.
Yeah, the shit looks worse than fucking Fist of the North Star, which is kind of nuts to me.
Fist of the North Star is gorgeous art.
Oh my god!
From unpopular opinion, I think it's.
But
it's average.
It looks realistic and is incredibly detailed, and the shading is on point. Like, it is objectively gorgeous artwork in Fist of the North Star.
I won't disagree that it's.
I'm not talking about the anime. I'm talking about the manga.
Okay, yeah, the manga. I won't disagree that it's realistic, but gorgeous.
Yes.
I
invite everybody in the stream right now. Just Google Fist of the North Star manga or Hokuto no Ken, because you actually probably will get more better results with that.
Sure.
Just Google it now. While you're looking at the stream, look at that art. Look at that fucking art.
Yeah,
see what I'm talking about.
Okay. While you're doing that, someone, by the way, we were talking too much about eating butthole earlier, which
oh no,
which we're afraid that Bunty would show up. And guys, if you need Bunty King to show up anywhere, what you do is I'll tell you how you get him. It's like the Bloody Mary thing. You actually draw an asterisk on the ground with chocolate. You draw an asterisk, and then you lick a circle around the asterisk, and then Bunty King will appear in the middle of it. So
and just grin at you smugly.
Like some Satan worship rim job.
And then
Bunty's fine. He's got some residual in his beard.
Draw a circle and a pentagram to trap him in it, and you send him back from hell where he belongs.
And then unmarried Bunty King will give you relationship advice. That'll be good. Always good to get relationship advice from an unmarried YouTuber who is very self-absorbed.
A self-absorbed unmarried YouTuber who's an admitted cuck who has ass in his beard. Like, he's got all the hot tips and tricks.
Talking about Bunty, or are we talking about Matt?
Yes. Does
the way,
does Matt give relationship advice?
He sometimes he really does.
Oh God.
I actually years ago, early in the Gamergate thing, because our podcast was still going on back then. We had Mundane Matt on our show.
Oh, really?
Sorry.
Yeah, and he back then he seemed all right. It's sad to see what's happened to him because he was super nice to us, super accommodating. We actually had to do it twice because there was a huge technical problem when we did the first recording, and he happily did it with us again. He seemed like the nicest guy, and then just watching him now,
he's a fuck boy.
it's the saddest shit I've ever seen. Like, what the fuck happened to you?
Well, a bunch of people lied.
Boy syndrome.
A bunch of people lied about him and said he was false flagging people. Those liars,
including himself.
Yeah, they lied. Oh yeah, they lied.
The thing
They
that happened to
doctored his
Mundane
own
Matt
footage.
is that he got a little bit of success and it really went to his head.
Oh yeah.
And his entire career has been about trying to protect what little bit of success he still has left. And so he always cucks to whomever is, either accusing him of something or saying, Matt, you're a bad person. And he's just like, yeah, okay. I guess I'll stop being a bad person. And that's like his problem is that he's always trying to play the optics. He's always trying to look at a situation and try to figure out how he could possibly gain some attention or some following out of it. And there's a lot of people like that on the internet. That's really all they care about. They don't do it because they enjoy it. They do it because they see it as a way to get easy money, and that's really all they care about at the end of the day.
Sad.
He sounds.
And a lot of these guys too.
He sounds like a guy who, like a fat guy who you take a cake from and put it on the top shelf so he can't reach. That's like how Matt sounds when he talks. Like that just happened.
I can't remember if it was an episode that Nick was on the Dick Show, where they were talking about Mundane Matt, and I think you were on that episode, Nick. But they were talking about Mundane Matt shitting on Dick, calling him a pussy. Were you on that episode? I can't remember. I
don't know. I might have been.
I just listened to a lot of Dame Pesos shitting on him. It's so fucking funny.
Dame is doing the Lord's work.
A loop of his laugh, of Dame Pesos laughing.
His laugh makes me so happy.
I tried watching his show, but his accent is so impenetrable to me. I mean, I'm usually not.
It's hard. You have
adverse to accents, but there's something about Dame Peso's voice that just sounds like, is this real?
You have to.
It's real.
You have to ease your way into it, right? You have to relax. You have to lube up, and you have to ease your way into the Dame accent.
Yeah. It's like I tried watching one of the
hairy butthole.
I tried watching one of the Soyless Matt things, and it was like. It sounded like an immigrant who stopped being really happy to be in America and started really hating Mundane Matt. Like it was an immediate transition. Like he seems like the same guy going, "I love America," and he just switched from that to, "But the fuck at the Mundane Matt." Like it was. I want to hear Dame Pesos yell, "I love America," because he's got that voice.
The best part about it is because I patron the Dick Show, so I can watch the videos. My favorite part is Sean with his weird, like, it kind of seems like he's going through with like alcohol withdrawals, where he does that weird shit with his fucking jaw. And then Dame Pesos comes on, and mixing that with him laughing his ass off to his voice, and his laugh is the best thing I've ever seen. And it literally, it's the funniest shit I've ever seen.
Okay.
Other than Space Runaway Dion.
Tillip, who is my art guy, says anime/video game related. The creators of the 2013 Devil May Cry remake said old Dante was a gay cowboy and thus wasn't cool. So in Devil May Cry 5, they made a weapon that's a cowboy hat that shoots rainbows and meteors.
Yeah, that is looking to be a joy. I'm not even into Devil May Cry.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck about Devil May Cry.
Like, but that is looking to be a joy. Like, I love that they were talking shit about the original Devil May Cry, especially with how that remake went. And I'm not just the stuff we know about with it being bad, but like that the director had such balls that he made Dante look like him. but like a Dawson's Creek version of him. And then then the game was bound so hard and the studio lost so much money they had to sell the Dante model. This is true for those who don't know. They had to sell the Dante model to like a company that produces like videos that are like the shit you see play in dentist's office, like to show you how to brush your teeth and shit. So people have found the videos of fucking Dante from the Devil May Cry remake, fucking just brushing his teeth, just show you how to use a toothbrush and shit.
Was it the Devil May Cry anime where he like the show opens up with him like getting a strawberry milkshake or some shit?
Yeah, the Devil May Cry anime.
Yeah, the Devil May Cry anime was fucking garbage.
I actually did enjoy that.
Did you? I didn't finish it, so I can't.
It was a fun anthology kind of thing. Like I like this one episode where it was based around a card game where there was a demon that was like Dante had to figure out which one of these guys in this underground card game was a demon he was hunting, and it was like a character kind of back and forth thing of trying to figure out who's who and what's going on with these characters and who they really are and all that stuff. It was pretty cool. There was pretty cool stuff in there. It was okay, like it wasn't great. If you're into Devil May Cry, it's a good watch.
Sure.
I'm not into Devil May Cry, and I was entertained. So.
One thing I'm curious about, Gator. I know you haven't got in here a whole lot. What's your top 3 favorite anime?
Oh, that is a tough one for me because there's just so many. I would probably have to go with the animes that were kind of my formulative animes, the ones that really like got me hardcore in anime. So my favorite of all time is also the one that really got me hardcore in anime, and that's Samurai Troopers, also known as Ronin Warriors.
I remember that shit. Oh my god! Oh my god!
and Samurai Troopers or something like that. Yeah.
Oh
so
my
that was
god!
what really got me into anime.
That's some nostalgia. I remember being a little kid trying to catch that on the little tiny cartoon blocks that they aired it on.
Ryo of Wildfire, baby.
Yeah. Ryo of the Wildfire!
Yes. That's one of my favorite anime of all time. And then for my next one, I'd probably have to say Outlaw Star.
My dude!
Outlaw Star's good.
I love that show.
Oh, that show is so good. You rub it on your skin and you cure acne.
Just don't say Big O, please.
No, I'm not going to say Big
O.
I fucking hate Big O.
Man, you hate Pop Team Epic, you hate Big O. Are you just like a shit taste golem? Are you just born from the depths, risen from the deepest parts of Nyarlathotep?
Like I said,
the Dark One City.
You want to do a separate podcast debating Pop Team Epic or Papa Tepiku? I will totally debate you on that.
Just rose from the depths with I hate good things.
Says the guy who hates Gosick.
Yeah, exactly.
The Big O, I can't really. It's more of like a child thing. Like when I was little watching it, it looked super fucking weird. And then I tried it like a couple years ago again. I dropped it at episode 7. So I can't really touch on Big O a lot. But no, I'm too big of a mecha expert to like Big O. I don't like that one at all. But anyway, sorry, Gator. You can keep going.
No, you're fine.
Fuck Big O.
The next,
you suck.
For third, I have to tie this one. I have to tie 2 anime because you said top 3, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
All right, so I'm gonna cheat and I'm gonna tie 2 because on one side it's gonna be Cowboy Bebop, but on the other it's gonna be the original Bubblegum Crisis.
My man. All right. Yep.
Bebop. Hell yeah.
That
should be higher, but I'll forgive it.
Well, it's Bebop's unfair though.
Yeah,
just this once.
Bebop's in my top like 30.
Bebop is like the show.
It
like,
is
the only people that dislike it are like contrarian pieces of shit. You have to be a contrarian piece of shit to watch Cowboy Bebop and go, no, not for me.
Cowboy Bebop is perfection.
That's how you have to say if you don't like Cowboy Bebop. The only way you can vocalize it is in that voice. It's not for me. Like you do that multi-lip smacking, like that. Even if that's not your voice, that's how it'll come out if you try to say it.
Exactly. And the Cowboy Bebop film is one of my favorite movies ever.
Hey, when Vincent hits Spike in the ribs and you see Spike shudder.
Yeah, Cowboy Bebop is in my top 40, but not my top 30. I love it to death, but when you watch almost 1,000 anime.
Yeah, it still should be in your top 10. What the fuck?
Okay, hold on.
It should be in my top 10, but no, it's not.
I gotta. Hey guys,
Hold on.
I gotta bring a specific chat to the front because
Yes.
my buddy's fighting some sleep medicine here. So Siren Jag says, "Hey, Rackets can't be on long tonight, but back in the day, I might have purchased for $160 Record of Lotus War on VHS and watched the whole thing in one sitting once."
Damn.
Ah, Lodos War. That takes me back.
Well, no, oh man, we talking TV show or the original OVA? That's the question.
I don't know.
Because, well, obviously he didn't say, but this sort of, I'm throwing that out there because the OVA, I could see it. I haven't seen that in years. I don't even remember if it's actually good. I remember liking it, but I saw it as a teenager, and there's things that I liked as a teenager that I realized, oh, this is actually bad.
Yeah, it's pretty garbage. Yeah.
But I know the TV show is crap, and the OVA was much better. That's what I remember.
I have no idea.
I'll tell you one anime that I didn't actually know was an anime until like recently was I did not know until about half a year ago. There was an anime for Star Ocean 2, Star Ocean EX. And I was like, wait, what?
Yeah, they had a lot of like animes based on JRPGs for a time. Like I remember Final Fantasy V got an anime. It was pretty bad, but
I've actually
like,
never heard of that one.
out of nowhere.
Yeah, Star Ocean EX. It came out in like mid 2000s, I believe. And it was kind of promotional for I think they like re-released the game or something like that. But yeah, I watched that about half a year ago. It's actually not half bad. It's just it gets too slice of lifey and has less to do with the actual plot of the game.
Oh, here we go again. Slice of life is bad. Let's fucking hear it again.
It is.
It's not always bad. It just depends on how you do it. If you're taking like, you know, what's a big popular Enix JRPG and you just kind of cut through the plot, and you're just like, oh, here's a wacky episode about how Ashton is a retard. You know? And that can be really.
I feel like a JRPG
really
slice of life. Yeah, I feel like that would be pretty fucking weird and bad. I don't know off the top of my head any that I've seen recently, but yeah, I guess I could understand that.
Next, Gay and Still at Large.
And my boy
Says, Cody, BlackRock doesn't want to go watch Garo the Vanishing Line right now because he wants to watch the stream. Give him permission to leave.
BlackRock, I understand, but the stream will be recorded. You can pick up where you left off. But Garo Vanishing Line is an experience that betters your life once you've finished it. Once you have watched Garo Vanishing Line, the world has like the colors are better and like the air tastes better and you can hear birds singing wonderful little song. The world becomes a better place after you've been blessed by Garo Vanishing Line. So my child, you may leave the stream. Go bless yourself with some Garo Vanishing Line and you will know. You will know the joys and the wonder, and you too will give thanks whenever you see a lovely pair of titties. You will clap them hands together.
Well, that was weird, but we'll take it.
That's not really the church music I was going for, but I'll take it.
Mythalid H says classic 90s anime Gunsmith Cats, fast girls and hot cars.
That's just Gunsmith Cats seems like a show is just like this is just for bros, dude. And I'm saying that in a good way. Like it's like you got some chicks, and it's not like weirdly it's sexual without being that kind of weird sexual where again you feel like if I watch too much of this I'm gonna regain my virginity. Like it's that cool sexual, and then it's like it's just chicks that got guns and these cool cars, and here's this cool dude, he's like a trucker outlaw guy, and he's fucking these cars and guns, bro. Let's fucking do it. Let's go.
The Gunsmith Cats is very of the time that it came out. I guess if you were watching anime at that time, it makes more sense. It's
a fucking cool show.
Yeah,
if you haven't seen it, you should go see it. It's short.
A show of the time it came out.
It's short. It has
I really enjoyed it.
A damn smooth and sexy opening. It's fucking good. And it's not like the best thing ever, but it is fucking entertaining, and it's not that long at all. So you just get
the OST and the score for the show is fucking fun as hell. It's so much fun.
So what's up with like weird Christianity references or Judeo-Christian references in anime? Like obviously Evangelion has them.
Know that the Christian manga.
But what about?
I can tell you exactly what it is.
What about like Spriggan? Have you guys seen Spriggan?
heard the name.
Oh, have I seen more anime than you? What?
You might have. I'm selective. I don't watch everything. I don't watch as much as Landon here because I'm more like, what's worth my time. So I just
Spriggan,
I zero in on what
was
looks good.
Spriggan's like one
by the way,
45-minute show.
I drop a lot of shows, by the way. I've completed over 600, but I've dropped 197. So
Like
I stopped watching a lot of shows.
But I can
That
tell you the
answers
exact.
one of my questions. I was going to ask you, Landon, if you're like my. This is not pejorative, but my wife is like OCD, and when she starts watching a show, it's really
Has
hard
to
for her to
finish it.
not watch it. Right?
Yeah.
Like even if it sucks, I have to sit there and watch garbage TV with her. Because she just wants to
on
finish
my
it.
anime list, I have a lot of friends who, if you look on my profile and click on my friends list, a lot of them have 0 dropped shows and like 400 or 500 finished anime, and they can't drop them. So that's kind of like your wife, I would assume. Like they can't not finish a show. That's not me. I don't have enough time to watch bullshit, so I drop a fuckload of shows.
Well, go watch Spriggan because it's one OVA. I'm pretty sure. I don't think there were more, and it's pretty awesome.
Okay, well,
but
you said that
it's
about
got
MD
like
Geist, and MD Geist I thought was fucking hot garbage. So
well,
yeah,
you
we
can
go from there.
MD
think
Geist
that
is like a great fucking like an exploitation movie type anime. Like
you
fucking
can
like
yeah.
something you see come out of Italy.
You can get a bunch of dudes chasing you down with dirt bikes to shoot a bunch of arrows into you and pull you apart or whatever. Just like an MD Geist. No,
what happens in Spriggan? I'm trying to remember if I've seen that.
Well, Spriggan involves like them finding Noah's Ark. That's about what I got, but it was cool. It's action packed, and I'm pretty sure it's just one thing. I don't think it's an ongoing series. But
I think Spriggan was a movie. I think it came out in 98? Sorry, I'm an atheist, so I don't usually check out shows like this. I'm trying.
It's not like it's preaching Christianity at you. It's and obviously it's like tackling Christianity the same way Ninja Resurrection or Evangelion.
Oh yeah,
where it's like there's an adjacent reference to Christianity that's like completely bastardized. But yeah, and the fact that they
Moshi, Jesus desu.
Yeah, I think I have seen that. God damn it, might have been.
Well, to the original question of why, I could give you the actual the reason.
Yeah,
it's just they think it's cool because it's so removed from them and their culture. Like they have Christians over there, but it's not as ingrained in their culture as it is in the West, where like we have nations started by Christianity.
Yeah.
So like they just think the iconography is neat. Like that is literally it. They just think it's cool. It's the same reason that we like samurais and shit over here and ninjas.
Yeah, that's exactly why.
Robots. Wait.
Yeah.
Just like on Nick's stream the other day when there were a lot of people were asking me about Christmas anime, I said Saint Oni-san or Saint Young Men, which is literally just a 2-episode OVA and a movie of Jesus and Buddha just dicking around. But the most beautiful part about it is that it is an anime where, I guess on the other side, like I watch it because I'm an atheist and I don't believe in any of that. And I thought it was funny as fuck to see these two prophets dicking around. Mostly, if you look on the internet, it's on the other side. Most Christians like it because it's just goofy as shit and is kind of heartwarming. And that's one of the shows that I checked out. If you want to look into something about religion, Saint Oni-san was really good. It's it's a lot of fun. I really enjoyed that anime.
Interestingly, if that type of stuff interests you, there's a fringe theory because the Bible takes Jesus up until 12 years old, and then he disappears from the story until he's about 30. Right.
And I've read the Bible from Genesis to Revelations. I've read all of it. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I've completed 600 Bibles.
Holy fuck!
No, I'm joking. I'm joking.
600 Bibles?
No, I'm joking. No,
that's not an anime. Go fuck yourself.
What I'm saying is, no. There's a theory out there, and there's some weird like text to kind of back it up that that Christ traveled to like India.
Oh.
And there's some weird references to like this child prodigy that came to India and discussed things with like the early Hindu or with that era Hindus.
Right.
Since you're not like since you wouldn't be considered a heretic for like looking into any of that stuff, it might be an interesting storyline for you to check out, like as a potential actual thing in history, where there were like two major religious figures interacting, but completely off grid and completely out of any canonical work. It's pretty kind of a.
And now, where can I find that?
Hell if I know.
Well,
Pirate sites.
yeah, well, just to end it, Saint Onisan is if you guys like, okay, so Jesus in this story is literally like a drama blogger. He's super into blogging about drama shows, and Buddha is like the ultimate mother. He's like, he cooks the meals and shit.
So
And then
you're telling me that Jesus likes watching internet blood sports?
Wait, you said blood sports?
Internet blood sports. It's literally just internet drama.
Oh, okay. Oh no.
No, it's the internet that John Claude Van Damme is on.
Even
Yeah.
Jesus thinks Tonka Saw is kind of a tool.
Yeah. No,
I want that as a quote.
no, he just watched like sitcoms and stuff, and then Buddha is like a motherly figure. He like cooks the dinners and corrects everything that Jesus is doing, and then they come into it's kind of like a townhouse where they take home and don't want anybody to know that they're Jesus and Buddha, so they just kind of become normal citizens, and it's a lot of fun. Like, it's really short, but it's goofy as fuck, and it's a lot of fun.
It is actually kind of funny because I remember there's a scene where Jesus and Buddha, they're in like this steam room with some dudes, and there's like yakuza guys in there, and they don't quite know what the yakuza is. So Jesus is talking about just like the detail, like him and his father or whatever, and the guys listen to it are interpreting this that he's actually a yakuza, like a, I don't know what they call him, like the son of a yakuza boss.
Wait, have you seen Saint Onisan?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, this is awesome then. Okay, sorry.
Yeah,
keep going.
it's actually I can't remember exactly how it goes, and that pisses me off because it was a really funny scene. I think anybody
It's super funny.
Anybody
It's a
interested? Anybody interested? You check that scene out, and if you like that scene, then go check it out. But it's like just having Jesus like, they tried to kill me, or whatever. But I came back like 3 days later or something. Like, this guy's like a total badass. Like,
yeah, it's.
Oh
very...
God, is he a yakuza son? Like, oh God, I better not look directly at him. I better. Oh, what if he gets mad and he tells his dad?
Yeah, the anime is very in depth with Japanese culture, but I think for Western fans, it's also it to me, I enjoy it, like I said, as an atheist, but like I think Christians can enjoy it too. It's just Jesus and Buddha dicking around. Just you can knock the entire show out in like what, 3.5, 4 hours between the two OVAs and the movie. It's a lot of fun, and Jesus and Buddha they are so funny. It's so heartwarming.
At some point,
I really enjoy it. It was great.
At some point, I feel like we have to talk about the fucking topic that was the impetus for this live stream in the first goddamn.
I know, but I've got so many questions to get through that have been sent in.
It's been 2 hours, and we never talked about the topic at hand.
Maybe it'll be a meme.
That's my fault.
Dave.
I don't even know what the topic is.
Oh, the topic is DragonBall Fighter Z being banned from being well, the licensing apparently is being pulled from tournaments, major fighting game tournaments.
Independent tournament too.
Right, are being forced to cancel their Dragon Ball Z section, their Dragon Ball Fighter Z section. Yeah, and no one knows exactly why. People thought it was Toei Entertainment, but Toei came out with a statement, said we have no knowledge about the canceling, and so it seems like it might be I'm gonna butcher the name, like Shigemitsu or whoever. Who owns Dragon Ball Z?
Shueisha?
I don't know.
I think it's Shueisha.
I don't know how to pronounce these weird Japanese words.
I just seen it so many times. I'm guessing that's how you say it. It's Shueisha.
That's what I say.
Yeah. So but it looks like it's a licensing issue, and this is actually interesting from a legal perspective. Maybe I could talk about the law on this a little bit.
Maybe.
A tournament where you play the game is not fair use or transformative use of an intellectual property. That is literally making money off of people playing the game and not really adding anything to it other than the fact that it's people playing the game in a competitive setting. But Dragon Ball Fighter Z and other fighting games are by their nature competitive. So these companies probably have the ability to pull the license from an event that is not creating anything by just hosting people playing the game. So like if you go to Evo, big fighting game tournament, or EVO, sorry. If you go to EVO,
Son of a bitch.
big fighting game tournament, and like EVO isn't doing anything to transform the use of Dragon Ball Fighter Z. Now, individual streamers who might be covering from the convention, they might be doing press, watching the fights, adding commentary, talking about combos, talking about the fighters and their backstories. That's fair use, right? Like that's transformative. You're not consuming Dragon Ball Fighter Z at that point. But everybody like EVO is consuming Dragon Ball Fighter Z, period. Like they're using the game in its intended way, in its medium. And so then if one of these companies that owns the rights to it doesn't give their express consent, they can withdraw the license from EVO to make any sort of content based on Dragon Ball Fighter Z. That wouldn't be otherwise protected or encouraged under fair or transformative use. So that's the legal aspect of this. And it's kind of interesting because it's very different from like you might watch someone live stream playing the game, but that's a different thing, right? Like you're watching someone else put their skill into it and something like and stuff like that. But a video game tournament is literally just using the content that was created with nothing added to it in any sort of way to make it transformative.
Even in the same environment that it was intended to be used in.
Exactly. So it's a weird sort of thing. To me, it's really stupid to do because thousands and thousands of people watch EVO. People will buy games like Fighter Z based on seeing people play it. There's no reason to do it, but a lot of people are the guys who own the rights, the overall rights to Dragon Ball is not Toei Animation. They animate it, but it's whatever starts with an SH. They own the rights to the IP, and the thought is they also own the rights to like the Shonen Jump game that's coming out, and there's a new fighting game coming out, and they're thinking that they want to promote that new game, and so therefore they're pulling the Dragon Ball Fighter Z. To me, that's a stupid perspective to take from a company. Like all press is good press, and the more exposure you get, the better.
Well, here's the thing: Japanese companies are incredibly backwards. For as much as as much influence as they have in sort of with a lot of their companies of the global economy, and as much as people like to make jokes about their technological advancements, they are so goddamn backwards in a lot of their thinking. I mean, for God's sakes, they still use fax machines because they think old people are magic. In Japan.
Jump Force is the game, Force, not Shonen Jump. I don't know what I was talking about.
No, Shonen Jump is the thing. Jump Force is the game.
Oh, okay.
Shonen Jump is the magazine, but all these things. It's basically a crossover of all the manga that's published in Shonen Jump.
Okay,
but I mean, they're incredibly backwards. They won't let go of old practices because they think the traditions are law in Japan. They have a very, very goofy culture. So in their minds, they fucking old ass dumbasses that run these companies like, well, that's the old thing. We don't want the old thing to distract from our new thing because we want to make money on new thing. And they don't understand in the realm of fighting games, that's not what you do. You keep that fighting game alive. You keep it going through seasons and new DLC and you can just keep selling copies and making money off of events. I mean, SNK, who publishes King of Fighters, will, like, if you want to just have a local King of Fighters tournament, you can contact SNK and they'll hook you up with shit. Like they will help you like sort of sponsor your little local tournament because they know you're promoting their game and you're keeping their game alive. You're giving them publicity. They understand that. Shueisha doesn't because they're old fucks that they're not in this realm of, they're not in this whole thing. So they're just thinking, oh, that is an old licensed product. Get rid of that because you're going to get in the way of new licensed product. People won't buy new licensed product because you're still showing old licensed product, and that's going to get in the way. That's their thinking because they're idiots. I guarantee that's what's going on.
Now, Brad DL brought up a very good point in the chat. He said, when a furry won the last time, some Japanese suit might have panicked. And
there was part of me that wondered if that was also a thing. Because Sonic Fox is making an ass of himself.
Yeah,
and
that's the problem. Like, I liked Sonic Fox until he talked.
Yeah, well, I can go on and on about fucking Sonic Fox, and maybe I will in a minute. But just want to get this out because this was like a side theory, like a conspiracy theory. This is my Alex Jones coming out. Like Japan.
You gotta say it like this. You gotta talk.
Japan is really.
You gotta get the Alex Jones voice going real good.
Japan, you see, is really crazy about shame and your public image and all that goofy shit. So when they see that their big game is being represented primarily by a guy in a goofy costume, a mascot costume, that's going around saying things that are pissing people off and making an ass of himself, they panic. But
and there's maybe Sonic Fox needs to seppuku.
Yeah, maybe did Sonic Fox help kill fighters because Shueisha's like, oh god, like this is the guy that's like the Dragon Ball Fighters guy. Like this is the guy associated with their game. He's giving us bad press. Abort. Like I think the first thing that I said about them just being fucking set in their old outdated ways is probably true. But then I wonder if how much did it play that the top player in Dragon Ball Fighters, the guy that won Evo, was so controversial
EVO.
And pissed so many people off. Did that maybe contribute to them going, we need to pull the plug because we're getting associated with this?
Have you seen this? Because I've seen this. There's a guy out there.
I've got people that have told me that have verified.
There's a guy out there. He's wearing a blue fox suit or something like that. He's out there playing games, but you know what he's doing at home?
Because
you think the puppies live through that? You think they live through that?
Didn't they cancel a lot of like independent tournaments too, like Anime Ascension?
All of them.
Yeah,
everything that was hosting fighters just all got canned.
Yeah, I that's a shame to me because I really looked up to Toei Animation.
Well, it's not Toei. It's not Toei. Toei's come out and said it's not us.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's Shueisha. And I'm saying, I think it was primarily them being sent other ways, and I think the conspiratorial part of me thinks it may be Sonic Fox giving them bad publicity. If they were thinking about it, that might have pushed them.
Well, Sonic Fox, I feel like that entire realm, I would not doubt.
Sonic Fox is an amazing story for the kid.
Oh, go ahead. I wanted to pick up fighting games just to beat this clown. Just because, his stupid face and his stupid, shitty attitude. I was like, you know what? I want to get good at Dragon Ball Fighter Z just to put him in his place.
Well, you just got to send him pictures of puppies from behind, in the middle of the match to distract him.
Well, here's the thing too. It was a legit tactic that he used, but he won Evo by pulling out some fucking rule exploitation to fuck with his opponent who was beating him. There's a thing in Evo's
where he switched the seats or whatever.
Yeah, because it's weird to think, and I could for those who don't play fighting games, this really can fuck with you, where you're in the zone, you're in that sort of mindset where you're past all the technical shit, and now it's person to person, and you're thinking about anything game related anymore, and then someone does that, and now you have to readjust. Now you're on the other side of the screen. Now your life bars and your power meter is just been flipped on you. That can fuck with you. And
that's like the equivalent of the guy in the Magic the Gathering tournament that pulls out some rules lawyering bullshit on you just to get you out of the game. I hate that shit.
Yeah, that's how Sonic Fox won Evo. Because Goichi.
The other way he won Evo is by being really good at blocking. In all honesty, what? Because I watched that fight and he pulls out a block string that is like he got impossibly lucky on his guess, because if you don't know about Fighter Z, like some of these long chain combos, when you start the combo, if they're blocking, the combo keeps going, and then there's no combo break, so you have to guess on the block exactly what their next move is.
Yeah, we were talking about that earlier, because the game has shit defense options.
Right, and when you get up to the high levels, you know pretty much what their combo is going to be, but there are a couple spots in the combo where it's either going to be a high attack, and if it's a high attack and you block low, you're screwed. Or if it's a low attack and you block standing, you're screwed. If it's a mid attack, you can block it standing or squatting. But there are a couple points in the combo where it's going to be a high or low, and you don't know what they're going to pick. And Sonic, in that fight, picked right like every time that it mattered. And that's how he won the tournament, basically.
Well, because he plays that guy all the time. Those two play each other all the time, Sonic Fox and Goichi.
Right.
And there's another problem with fighters, and why I'm not sad to see it go. Its community was turning into Melee, where it was the same fucking people that were placing all the time.
Yep, it's always Goichi.
The fact that it was a very niche. Yeah. It was a very niche fighting game in the first place.
Well, no, because it was going for the general fighting game kind of thing. It was going for like a Marvel vs. Capcom kind of feel. And I was saying this earlier before you came in, Gator, because I'm a huge fighting game enthusiast. And I was hyped for this game, and then I realized it was actually fucking trash when I tried to get competitive to a competitive level in it. Because when you start getting into high level play, that's when all of its gameplay flaws become really fucking apparent. And I feel like that was a big contributor to it kind of being a flash in the pan game, because you don't hear from it a lot anymore until this big thing with it being pulled from tournaments happened. I mean, even when they release, usually when a big fighter releases DLC, there's hype. It revitalizes the fighting game a little bit. More people start playing it again. Who gave half a shit when fucking Cooler and 17 were released? Like, no one. The same couple people.
Yeah. I did, because Cooler is one of my favorite anime characters.
Well, Cooler was... Yeah, that's weird. Cooler's like nothing. Like
when Cooler beat Goku, come on, and the original.
A lot of people beat Goku, and they did it cooler ways than Cooler did.
Guys, really important. Do you guys watch Mo Lowry on YouTube?
Is that...
No.
That's the black dude who reviews the anime fights?
Yeah, he's
goofy as fuck.
Unironically, my favorite YouTuber currently. I love, like, he watched these Dragon Ball Z fights and Naruto and stuff. I'm dying every single video, and it's like the same thing over and over. But his personality just cracks me up.
Well, it pisses me off,
I can see that,
because instead of watching that shit, you could watch more anime.
I could, but this is legal to watch, like, streaming on my phone.
Fair enough.
Okay, I gotta hit some of these chats, because I'm like an hour behind on them.
Gotta through these super chats.
Yeah, Dave Davison. Japanese anime titles all have the word "no" in them to warn you not to watch them.
Sounds legit.
Deep Fried Lettuce says the feats of anime. Sorry, while you guys weren't looking, I downed some Glenlivet 12. I finished off my bottle of sake. The feats of anime is important. Feats spelled as if as POED. Poed.
Well, that's what happened if 9-volt was a weeb.
9-volt.
Oh 9-volt?
No! Don't do this to me.
That's some dark deep lore. That's some dark deep lore.
Berserker Bauer says, we all know Nick looks up to Legal Eagle. No, I don't. I don't look up. I'm going to uppercut Legal Eagle straight into the gutter.
Sure,
okay. He's going to fucking body slam him. 1, 2, 3, ding, ding, ding.
That guy, Gator, do you know about this guy, Legal Eagle? He's got like
I do not.
He's got the top law channel, as far as I can tell, on YouTube. And he got all of his subs in like 2 months, which tells me he probably bought them, which I'm going to say because I'm drinking. So it's not defamation if I'm drinking. But here's the thing. I started looking at his channel, and it's so mundane and boring. It's exactly what you expect a lawyer channel to be. Like, he's sitting in a big leather chair. He's got a suit with a pocket square. He looks like Jim from The Office, but a little older and more refined. And behind him,
he is very fucking boring. I checked him out after a few super chats on your streams, and I was like, this This dude doesn't have shit on Nick. Not just knowledge and entertainment value. I'm just talking. He's boring as fuck.
Yeah, he has a big bookshelf behind him of the like law books that no lawyer reads. Guys, if you go into a law office and you see a bunch of law books, they literally paid like 10 grand to have books on a shelf that they never ever read, because those get updated with new case law constantly. And you can't sit and like put inserts into the books. So they all use software that they pay thousands of dollars a month for. Like I have it as a solo practitioner. My software, and I don't even have the full suite, is $350 a month. Okay. So like imagine a law firm with 12 lawyers all using this software, how much it costs. Like, okay, so if they've got a wall of books, that's all for show. So this guy's sitting there, exactly what you would expect a legal show to look like, and he reviews like legal TV shows. And I'm looking at it, I'm like, this is so mundane and boring. Like this guy, Gator, you'll appreciate this. He said BetterHelp was probably just fine. Like it's like they're fine. All they're doing is connecting you to people, connecting you to a professional. It's not BetterHelp that's lying about their terms of service or anything like that. It's up to the professional, and they're just connecting you to someone. So they're okay. It's not a scam at all. So he gives these vanilla, whitewashed, boring opinions. And I look at it and I go, okay, wait a minute. And then if you Google Legal Eagle, you'll find out that the same guy, owns a website called Legal Eagle. And what it does is it sells his How to Succeed in Law School course. So that's the whole, that's his channel. That's his channel, which I think might be a violation of YouTube's terms of service, because he never discloses that his channel is attached to a business that is literally selling a product. As far as I can tell, because he doesn't actually advertise it, but the Legal Eagle branding and everything is the same. But anyway,
the problem is he doesn't drink whiskey on stream. That's his problem.
Yeah, that guy, and he should, because we know he drinks in private. Drink in public, everybody knows it.
and drive. Every Landau out there, drink and drive, please.
Well, Landau should not.
A really good point as well about the about BetterHelp. Did you see the YouTube Rewind where they actually kind of spotlighted and YouTubers talking about mental health this year?
Oh Christ, no! I didn't watch the YouTube Rewind at all, because
I heard it was garbage.
Yeah,
it was terrible. But
it's the most downvoted video on the internet.
True.
But I really do believe that YouTube, at least maybe not on the entire corporate level, but on some level, I do believe that YouTube was involved.
Oh, I think so.
Like
yeah.
Upper middle management or something like that. I do think they had a hand in it. And I think that's a lot of what started the Killstream getting thrown off YouTube, is I think we punched way above our pay grade against guys like Philly D, started to help Memeology's channel take off, and I think YouTube saw all of that, and they were like, "Now these guys have got to go down."
Yeah, well, and if you guys out there don't know, out in viewer land, when you hit certain subscriber levels at YouTube, you get access to more and more content, or more and more support. We'll say support content. So like the first one is 1,000 subs, then 10,000 subs, then I think it's 100, and then 200,000 subs. You get access to more and more stuff. I think it's perfectly reasonable to expect that BetterHelp contracted with YouTube. I don't know if this happened, but I would wager that this would be a way that a company could do this. BetterHelp would contract with YouTube to get to get access to high-level YouTubers, 100 to 200,000 plus subscribers, and would have YouTube basically push advertisement to them, or advertisement opportunities through their support channels. I would not be surprised at all if that was going on. I don't know if you guys have talked about that at all, Gator, but that to me seems like...
I really haven't focused on that.
That to me seems like a possibility.
It makes sense.
That would happen, because BetterHelp was shockingly uncritically supported by so many people that either they were just dumping money into them individually, but like, how do you pick 100,000 plus subscriber channels? Like, what do you what do you base that choice on? Because there are quite a
What
few.
metric are you looking at?
Yeah, exactly. And I would wonder if BetterHelp would contract with YouTube to say, can you recommend some high impact creators who are getting good engagement right now that we could advertise to? I wouldn't be surprised at all. And YouTube would be fully within their rights to sell that information. By it's not like shady. It would just be annoying that they didn't talk about it.
Yeah.
Okay,
It
so
would also make sense for why they. Yeah, and it would also make sense for why, for instance, they would want the Killstream to go somewhere else, because it's even though it's not illegal, that doesn't mean that it's a good thing.
No. Often unethical and horrible things are very legal. If you want to look at it, no one from the 2008 mortgage crisis, which crippled the entire nation's economy for a good 4 years, really, a good 4 years of Obama. None of that, like nobody went to jail. Not a single person was even charged with a crime. And these people were all acting in severely unethical ways. And the best part is the people calling them out were so shunned by the community that instead of like doing anything to protect everybody, what they did was, well, we'll just profit off of it. And they started short selling a lot of these companies and running options trades and stuff like that. And once the market crashed, they made literal billions and then walked away with a big peace sign. But no one went to prison, not a single person. So very unethical things can be very, very legal. That's two different things. YouTube is hot garbage in a lot of ways ethically. Because YouTube makes they take down these the clothes on pedophilia channels. Like they take them down eventually, but the millions of views that they get are all ad revenue. They don't donate that ad revenue to child trafficking or anything like that. They keep it.
See, that was like the thing that YouTube, that was something that they brought up, Yoriko in particular in her article, is that she's like, oh, well, YouTube makes money off of these terrible and evil super chats. But, Yoriko doesn't seem to have the same level of care about YouTube making money off of, this Spider-Man Elsa shit, because they make money off of those views. They are profiting off of that stuff. And you never hear about them, giving the money back or, donating it to a victims of trafficking or anything like that. You never hear about that.
And
Right.
wasn't it revealed that she was actually dating or married to like a person that might be affiliated with YouTube?
Who?
She's married to a
Yoriko.
Oh, Yoriko.
She's married to a New York Times reporter that writes puff pieces for Google.
Okay, that's what. Yeah,
literally all he does is he writes pro Google propaganda articles for the New York Times.
Well, Yoriko can
lick my butthole.
Find a nice island to go die on in obscurity, peacefully in her sleep of old age, in Minecraft or whatever it is, whatever non-threatening thing I can say to get bent, you dumb harlot. Okay, next. Kyle Ferry says, on my rankings, this was the legal rankings earlier. On my rankings I made, I forgot one before Ruth Bader Ginsburg, which is literally anyone else, including many literal corpses like your boy Scalia. Scalia is very dead, and for the most part, I like him. Still mad at him for the handgun, DC versus Heller. Just because I thought that he should have included assault weapons and fully automatic weapons as protected. In his opinion, but nobody's perfect.
100% should have. 100% should.
And by the way, Scalia, remember that you didn't do that, and then you ended up mysteriously dead, so mysteriously dead that no one could actually investigate the lone death of a Supreme Court justice because they decided to go ahead and cremate you before your body could be examined. Just remember that happened.
Scalia had an assault weapon, that might not have happened.
Just died in his sleep peacefully under a pillow, of natural causes that couldn't be investigated. That's perfectly normal for a massively important government figure to die alone without any sort of investigation into why he died. But I'm not a conspiracy theorist, so we're not going to talk about it. Mithrin Emrys says Legal Eagle's law school tips summarized. 1, take practice tests. 2, do the reading. 3, write outlines. In other words, the stuff they tell you at orientation. Please insert the needed corny jokes to give it that true Legal Eagle flair. No, they... okay, I'll give you one. Legal Eagle might be confused about his orientation. Berserker Bauer says... Berserker Bauer says... OG FMA, Full Metal Alchemist, I'm guessing, was better than Brotherhood. Changed my mind.
Bullshit!
I'm going to disagree with you there.
Bullshit! That is such bullshit.
Yeah.
I feel like it is the kind of fresh bullshit you can only find on the ground of a bullfighting arena after the bull has been stabbed to death and evacuated. Like, okay, you have Full Metal Alchemist, the original manga, and Brotherhood that follows the manga story, which is this tightly woven, just elaborate story full of twists and turns and secrets and plots.
Which
and then
is it's more dedicated to the manga, right? Brotherhood.
Brotherhood,
yeah. Because I've only seen the original Full Metal Alchemist.
With a truly
talk about it.
With a truly conniving and intimidating villain and a sensible reason that the homunculi would be named after the 7 deadly sins, and the fact that homunculi are homunculi, if you know what a homunculus even is. Whereas you have the 2003 anime where the main villain is this chick that's just so super into Ed and Al's dad that she decides to try to be immortal, even though immortality doesn't work. But we're supposed to believe she's so brilliant she could conceive of this grand conspiracy to manipulate entire nations. But she's too stupid to realize that infection keeps spreading every time she body hops. She started a war and killed these people because she really wanted to be with her boyfriend. And also, babies open the door to World War II. If you sacrifice a baby, it will summon this gate. And if you walk through the hallway that has all the knowledge in it, you come out in World War II, and everybody will remind you of it's World War II because everything's sepia toned, and everybody just keeps name dropping historical figures.
Does this happen in Brotherhood?
No, this is original.
No, this is in the. This is
okay.
in the.
I was gonna say
it's
this
referencing
sounds like
the original series in the movie.
I was gonna say it sounds like the original
Conquerors of Shambhala.
Yeah,
that's the only one I've seen.
That's so bad. It was so and like the whole thing. We're like, my brother fucking had himself mutilated to save my soul, but I'm gonna listen to this serial killer ghost who's telling me maybe maybe I'm not real, and I'm gonna believe the serial killer ghost over my brother and believe that I'm not real and have some big hissy fit and fucking run away like a bitch crying, and we're gonna spend like 2 or 3 episodes having to reunite these two and fucking grind the plot to a halt because for some reason Al has become retarded and decided to listen to a serial killer ghost instead of his brother. And I love that in the actual, because I saw that anime first and I started to hate it, but I remember like, well, it looked like it had promise in the beginning, and I know that it starts going into its own story.
Elric. Brother, maybe I'm not real. Of course you're real, you idiot. There you go.
Yeah. How does one know that one is real? That's the real question. And I may have had too much sake, followed by whiskey.
You might have.
But I've heard entirely too much fucking Vic Mignogna.
Hey, don't talk shit about Vic. That's my boy. But
I do like Vic though.
I don't know who that is.
Vic Mignogna is a voice actor who is not only a phenomenal actor, but he's one of the few voice actors that is not a far left nut.
Who is that? Broly's voice?
Yes.
Okay, he's good then. He can stay because he voiced the most important character in Dragon Ball. I got a question for you guys from the chat because this is related to something you just talked about. Someone earlier, and I promised I would ask later, was asking, what is your recommended World War II anime go to?
I can't think of any World War II anime.
JoJo.
Oh yeah, duh. What am I thinking? Well, JoJo covers so much. I don't really think of it as a World War II anime. It's a fucking anime with all the time periods and places in the world and all that shit.
What about
characters?
Is Grave of the Fireflies World War One?
Grave of the Fireflies is a steamy pile of shit.
I think that's World War
It is World War
II.
II.
Yeah, it's World War II, and it's also
Is it?
crap.
Okay.
It took
It's World
someone's
War II.
actual autobiographical accounts and used it to push the director's weird psycho message about never disobeying adults.
Okay,
We're-
for
we're de-
for World War II, what is Yojo Senki? Is that
That's
one's
World War One, a saga of
World
Tanya
War
the Evil.
One.
That one
Yeah,
is excellent.
Yeah,
I think I talked about
Saga-
that one last stream.
I think
That
you
was-
did. Yeah, Saga
Man,
of
I
Tanya.
thought it was gonna be shit because I initially heard the premise and it sounded like weird fetish shit. And then one of the guys at AO Watch is like, no, it's actually really good and it's not fetish shit. Like he's not turned into a little girl for some lowly fantasy. He's turned to a little girl because God is fucking with him.
Yeah. Now what was
Grave of the Fireflies was World War II.
Yeah.
World War II? Yeah.
Come on,
What-
you weebs.
what-
I'm just kidding. Chat
what
knew
was-
that. I had no idea.
What was the question, Nick? Was it World War II or
They were
World
just
War One?
looking for World War II recommendations.
Yeah, there's
Oh,
nothing really, unless you count part 2 of JoJo. I can't think of any really good World War II.
What about
because you have
Cosmo?
to remember Japan's involvement in World War II, and Japan does not like to admit it was ever wrong.
Yeah.
You have to this day, they still deny the rape at Nan. You have public officials denying the rape of Nanking. That's the equivalent of having Holocaust deniers in office. Like that, they don't like to admit. If you look at Japanese history classes, when World War II comes up, it's like, and then but anyway, after that, like they don't. They had to have their fucking.
You
nipples
are on a
twisted.
vacation.
Like they had to have their fucking nipples twisted to get an apology out of that nation. Like so when it comes to World War II, nothing fucking happened. Or like
they need
or
a
they'll
Men
focus
Behind
on
the
Germany
Sun
or something.
anime.
Here's some fucked up shit. There's an anime called Joker Game that's like some spy show that
Oh
takes
my
place around the
God.
time of World War II. That like it's like revisionist history shit. Like no, Japan's intelligence was actually super great and it was like totally pulling one over on the rest of the world. It totally their codes weren't totally hacked in an hour. Like,
Well, what?
it's like it's just so you're not going to find any good World War II anime because Japan was involved in World War II. They were on the wrong side and they won't admit it because they're obsessed with shame, and shame is like worse than death in Japan. So they just World War II. What is that? It was just World War One and then nothing happened.
What time was Kaze Tachinu set in?
English titles, motherfucker.
God damn it!
I will hit
the
you
wind,
with a fucking sprocket.
the wind rises.
Yeah. That was Wind
What?
Rises is another example of why Hayao Miyazaki's a piece of shit because Wind Rises is a glorified biopic of the inventor of the Zero plane. You may know them as the planes used to bomb and kamikaze Pearl Harbor.
Oh, I can answer this question better than you guys can, actually. Here it is. It's a podcast.
He
So
seems to
it's-
hate every movie from World War II that is actually good, which blows my fucking mind.
Wind Rises is a giant fucking lie, piece of shit. To
It doesn't
glorify
matter if
the
it's a
dude.
lie. It's a good film, you
It's-
stupid
it's a-
motherfucker.
That's like saying, hey, you know it's a great film? Fucking, what was that? Rise of Nation? Whatever the fuck that fucking, Germany propaganda movie from World War II was that was like technically a spectacular film and invented all these fucking cinematography thing, but it's still fucking Nazi propaganda.
I don't care. Listen, go listen to Dan Carlin, Hardcore History, Supernova in the East, Part 1.
I've heard of Hardcore History, yeah. I think my girlfriend was talking about him.
It's the most recent episode of Hardcore History, although I think next month he'll probably have Part 2 out. And it talks about Japan, from feudal Japan leading up to World War II. And it is a fascinating look. And Dan Carlin does a fantastic job. You should listen to Dan Carlin's Hardcore History no matter who you are. But if you want a good World War II anime, go listen to Supernova in the East, Part 1 by Dan Carlin. Because it's like, if you really want to know like what I don't want to say the other side of the story, the more in-depth story, what was happening in Japan to get them to a point where they had an army that was the highest morale army in all of history. Like, to think about what Japan did, going from samurai being mowed down by primitive machine guns, right, to creating a national army that was willing to die to a man for the cause. and having
It's like before the Sengoku era. What's this called again?
It's called Supernova in the East, Part 1, and it's Dan Carlin, Hardcore History. And honestly, like every single episode of Hardcore History from Dan Carlin is worth listening to. His other podcast, Common Sense, is only funny to listen to during the election when Trump announces he's running, and Dan Carlin's like, "Yeah, I'm so happy to have a guy like Trump in the election because I've always wanted an outsider, and I don't think he's going to win, but he's saying some really great things." And then Trump gets nominated, and he's like, "Well, he's nominated."
Well, fun fact with Trump and anime, Cody might know this. Did you guys know that he popped up in a Studio Trigger trailer for Anime Expo last year?
I know he was in Inferno Cop.
Inferno Cop, yep.
It was fucking great.
It was fucking awesome.
Fucking Inferno Cop. I don't remember. He says something. He's like shit talking Trump. Like it wasn't an anti-Trump bit.
No,
it was a little joke where he says something about Trump, and Trump comes out of the TV like, "You say something about me, motherfucker!" He just jumps out of the TV and starts summoning America shit.
And by the way, Nick, Inferno Cop is a very. I think a new season was recently announced, but if you want to watch something very short with very low budget but hilariously awesome,
Inferno Cop is amazing.
Check out
each episode is like, I think, like 10 minutes.
What's that movie? What's that anime where the guy has like he drops his pants and he has a bunch of hand grenades like tucked into his pubes?
Mad Bull 34, and they were attached to his pubes.
Was it Mad Bull 34? I thought it was Golden Boy or something.
Mad Bull 34. No, Old Boy is not that.
Not Old Boy, Golden Boy.
Golden Boy. No, it wasn't that. Mad Bull 34 is amazing. There was like a short OVA and there's a long running manga, and it is basically
what studio is that?
I don't remember, but it's fantastic. The author I know is the same. I think the same guy that did.
When there's something Jack like
Violence Jack. You're
thinking Violence Jack. Yeah, I was thinking of Violence
that wasn't
Jack.
it.
Okay, it's not
Mad Bull 34 is about this giant dude that looks like fucking Mike Hager, named Sleepy SDs, partnered with this little guy. I forget what his name is. This is just joined the force, and they're like the NYPD, and Sleepy is like technically should be a war criminal. He's he cleans up the streets, and he doesn't clean up the streets, with the law and police procedure. He uses his Herculean strength and bare fists to punch men's heads off because, God damn it, you shouldn't rape, and if you rape on the streets in New York, Sleepy Estes is gonna bust in the building, just impale you on his dick because it's fucking Mad Bull 34.
Was Mad Bull 34 that was it 3 or 4 episode OVA?
Yeah,
from 1990.
Yep.
Okay.
God, I'm old. Sorry.
He just regularly attaches grenades to his pubes just in case you need some grenades.
Sorry, I remember this. I don't think I finished the show.
It is fucking great.
He taught me how to be a man, frankly.
I love the scene in the first episode. First of all, I love they had to fake their deaths in the first episode to lure out the criminal they were after. And they hide at their own funeral looking for the guy dressed as nuns. And for some reason, this disguise works despite the fact that Sleepy is like 8 feet tall and has a huge bushy mustache. And no one just bats an eye at the giant mustachioed Herculean fucking nun. And then they have a fucking fight with these thugs in a subway. And at one point, Sleepy punches a dude in the face so hard his sunglasses shatter, and then and then it shows slow motion of the shattered fragments of the sunglasses going into the guy's fucking eyeball. And then another dude just gets smeared on the outside of the subway, and this is how Sleepy enforces the law.
Surprisingly, a lot of people don't like Mad Bull 34.
They're wrong. A lot of the A&M crowd, because it's very problematic because there's a lot of naked bitches fucking.
Well, it's very bizarre, but it's very of the time within the 1990s, especially the early 1990s. I think it was. I think you kind of have to be drunk to watch it.
It was great. Like the manga is especially great because like it's very much like a Japanese. It's a Japanese view of America ramped up to 11, and it's kind of both a love letter and a satire. Like and there's this recurring villain that's not in the OVA. That's like I think he's based on an act. I want to say Kevin Spacey, which is funny to think.
Speaking of which, Kevin Spacey has been accused of sexually predating again. Good job.
And then
Good job,
his way of
Kevin.
defending himself was to make a creepy video where he looks like a fucking supervillain and he has the voice of a fucking 80s evil warlock. Like, I don't know what happened to his voice, but it really doesn't help your innocence when your voice is now sounds like this.
It's really
He's trying to
too.
do his Frank Underwood.
Yeah, you're bringing me back memories. I think
It's all his fault for screwing up Al Pacino's sale in Glengarry Glen Ross. That's
like he just like, oh, how do I show people I'm innocent? I'm going to make a video where I glare at this camera with this voice. I'm a good person. I would never rape.
I'm pretty sure his video was basically about how he did it and fuck you.
Yeah, it's like when OJ released how I did, like if I did it, like
he
if
really
I raped him.
He really screwed up with apologizing to that dude from Rent. Like, well, I'm very sorry. I might have molested you, but that would have been a long time ago, and I was really drunk. By the way, I'm gay now. That was a terrible, terrible defense. He should have just denied it vehemently and said, "Why were you at a party alone as a 14-year-old, you weirdo?"
And then and now he comes back, and now to show his innocence, he shows that he now speaks with the voice of a space ghost villain.
Now,
Okay.
Correct me if I'm wrong. So Bull was made by Magic Bus, Studio Magic Bus, right?
I don't know.
Okay. Well,
I don't know.
Well, I remember that name because they also, I think, made Legend of the Galactic Heroes and Pataliro, which was an older anime I watched.
I don't know.
But I've got
I believe that was the studio who made it because I think they did Mad Bull, Pataliro, and Legend of the Galactic Heroes.
Okay, Keck7 Go says we need a shonen about mundane Matt in the style of One Punch Man. Is that like One Boulder Bro? Would that be that? Like where he takes he's always got a car seat on his left hand and a boulder in his right, and he defeats his enemies by not throwing the boulder at them, but by cucking and using an excuse. Is that what
cucking?
I've got it. It's one lunch man. It's the story of an Uber Eats driver.
No,
it's
one cook man.
One flag man.
Wait, Gator, finish, please.
Yeah, one lunch man. It's a guy who's an Uber Eats driver, but he never gets orders. Then finally one day he gets one Uber Eats delivery, but it's on the other side of the country, and so it's this adventure where he's got to drive across the country and meet all these strange characters, like a wheelchair-bound Indian who becomes his spirit guide. All these wacky
come on.
A British expatriate who's horrifically obsessed with finding a large, dark-skinned gentleman to handle his wife.
It depends on the gentleman, I think. No, and then at the end, of course, the big turn is that by the time he delivers the Uber Eats, he ate it already, right? Like, that's got to be... like, so
exactly. He'd actually eaten it before in a flashback to the very beginning of the show. He gets really hungry and eats it.
One lunch!
And so he just drives his car through the house, kills the person, and then drives into the ocean. I think that's where that would end.
Is this like a Shokugeki no Soma fucking collab?
God damn it!
Yes.
That's
what did we
Short
talk
answer,
about?
yes. I have no idea what you just said.
Shokugeki no Soma is Food Wars.
Oh, okay.
See, why can't it's less syllables?
Damn it, Cody! Shut the fuck up.
Mithrin,
Say Food Wars.
Sorry, a Food Wars and One Punch Man fucking collaboration.
Mithrin Emrys says, Gator, bubblegum crash greater than bubblegum crisis. Fight me.
No.
You're wrong.
No.
You're just wrong.
Absolutely not. Bubblegum Crisis is actually I didn't finish it, but it is hilariously good in my opinion for being such a short series. I guess you guys could probably touch upon it more if you finished it, which I did not. I've had it on hold for like 4 years, but Bubblegum Crisis is one of those anime that like you have to be super deep into it to appreciate obscure anime.
Okay, D's Knots. This was 40 minutes ago, so this is no longer true, but he says, just got back from the bar. Want to shout out to my boys in the Axis cult. Praise Aqua. Eris pads her chest. I don't know what he's talking about.
I feel like I vaguely know what he's talking about, and it's not good things. He's referencing bad things. He's referencing crap. So just stay away. Just
Okay.
run from those references.
Tech7 Go
pretty,
said,
homo.
sorry. Yeah.
I was about to say.
I have no idea what's going on. Tech7 Go says, today is my birthday. Happy birthday, Kat, by the way. And the only thing I have ever wanted in my life, Nick, is for you to read and comment Denver v. Georgia. You know I can't read that on YouTube. It would throw me off in a heartbeat reading that.
Read it on Stream Me.
I think I might have to sometimes. And then Keck7 Go says, guess the state. Hotel employee evicted guest for calling his mom while black. I'm going to go with Florida, but I don't know.
That's the easy one. That's the low-hanging
I'm
fruit.
gonna say Texas.
I don't know. Maybe it was probably like New York or something, California. That'll be the twist. Beck, if you're still around, let us know what the answer was. Kyle Ferry says Nick secretly has a legal eagle Dakimakura. I don't know what a Dakimakura is.
Dakimakura.
That's the body pillow.
That's
the
a
girls
body
own.
pillow.
Oh no, I saw the best waifu pillow the other day. It was a Super Mario Brothers full-on 3D pillow that they sell at Target. And it had Mario's face, Luigi's face, and Yoshi's face. So you could get like your Italian woman, your Italian man, and your Italian weird pet fetish all in one.
Anybody in the chat, if you want to send me a Dakimakura, a Kotari Manami from the Love Live franchise,
God
please,
damn it.
Please do. Please do.
No, don't send body pillows. You'll be immediately put on a watch list.
That sentence almost made me quit anime forever.
Good. I love Love Live. Fight me.
Dick Cicada says.
Also, real quick, I know you do super chats, but there's an update on the actual topic we were discussing, and I want to get it out before because I will forget it. Yeah, Katsuhiro Harada, the guy behind Tekken, is making an attempt to save DragonBall Fighters in the esports community.
Is he?
Yeah. How's he doing that? What's he doing?
I'm looking it up now. Here's One Angry Gamer has an article on it.
Okay, while you read that, I'm going to read this chat from Dick Cicada. It says, not an anime question, sorry. In a future video, would you be willing to cover campaign contributions and the First Amendment? Keeping money out of politics gets mentioned a lot. Never by me, by the way. And I'd like to know why the SCOTUS always shoots down donation limits. Because... let me briefly address this now. It does merit a stream at some point. Donation limits are put in by the people in power, right? Like Congress passes a bill that limits the amount of money that you can contribute. Why would they do that? Like just without any sort of other context, why would a congressman and a bunch of other congressmen agree to limit the amount of donations that can come in per year for a candidate? Think about it from a Senate perspective when you have 6 years of security or 5 years of security and 1 year of campaigning. Why would you limit someone who probably only decides to run for the Senate and certainly only raises money to run for the Senate in the election year? At best, at the beginning of the prior fiscal year. So they get maybe 2 maximum donations per donor, right? But the congressman who passed that law gets 6 years of those donations. Have you, if you don't know, look at the war chests of guys like John Cornyn, dead John McCain before he died. Guys who have been in Congress for 20 years. Have massive amounts of money because every single year they can get those campaign contributions. And believe me, in the off season from their wealthy donors, they still get that money. The person who doesn't get that money is the new guy. Now, why would a congressman vote to limit their own power? They never, ever, ever do. Otherwise, we'd have term limits. They never do. They always vote to limit the risk coming in. So money out of politics means competition out of politics. The only way to combat a guy like John Cornyn or John McCain, remember, Congress has like an 8% approval rating, yet a 90% re-election rating. Think about it. It's because you cannot compete with them on a money scale if they have any sort of incumbency under their belt. They build up a war chest year over year. They spend less and less. They get free press from C-SPAN. From every news agency will cover any congressman whenever they ask. They can come on and do free ads for their campaign. Constantly. You can't if you run against them, though. That's why.
And see, both parties have recognized that this would be a problem and they'd never actually be able to take a seat from somebody. So it's effectively kind of a mutually assured destruction kind of thing, where neither side really wants to pop the cork.
Yeah,
it would doom them.
They've literally gone beyond party and picked individual protection of their individual power with campaign finance reform. That's why it exists. That's why Citizens United is one of the most important. I know a lot of people crap on it. It's one of the most important Supreme Court decisions of our generation because it allowed an outside party to advocate for a candidate without the candidate having any involvement. To me, there should not be a single campaign contribution limits. By the way, if there are campaign contribution limits, we wouldn't have gotten Abraham Lincoln. We wouldn't have had him. He wouldn't have gotten elected. Abraham Lincoln's entire campaign was financed by one newspaper, just one. And he would not have been elected. So if you think Lincoln was a good president, which most people do, although he did have his faults, Lincoln also oversaw the largest mass execution in United States history. Good job, Lincoln. He also, he famously committed a war against the southern states who wanted to withdraw, for better or worse. That's what that kind of was. So lots of people don't like some of the individual decisions, but on balance, Lincoln is a highly regarded president, wouldn't have been elected. And neither would most of our early politicians have been elected. And some of the best presidents on every single list of best presidents wouldn't have made it if we had the campaign contribution reforms that we have today. And they're mostly there to protect Congress, but it's good to illustrate it by presidents. It shouldn't be speech. Money is speech. Like if you want to take the money that you have and dump it into someone and say, no, this is the guy. I believe it so much. I'm willing to put $12 million down. Why can't you do that? Logically, why can't you do that? The only argument is that, this person will be bought and sold. Guess what, guys? They're already bought and sold with the limits. Not having the limits isn't going to change. So that's my spiel on it. I will do a full video on it at some point.
Preach, brother. God damn. Here, I would clap, but I'm holding a pencil in one hand and this microphone in the other. But fucking here, good man.
Thank you.
Clappity clap in spirit.
Cruz didn't lose to, or almost lose to Beto. Cruz almost lost to Beto for a lot of reasons, probably. And a lot of it has to do with Cruz's opposition of Trump early on, even though he tried to repair that later. But Mithrin Emrys says, for World War II anime, Barefoot Gen.
Oh, I've heard about Barefoot Gen. I don't know a lot about that. I've heard a lot about it. I don't know a lot about it, so I can't speak to that.
Barefoot Gen is very comparable to Grave of the Fireflies, but it's almost a little bit more sadistic and sad.
Oh yeah, I think I know something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's also very sad, but it's a brutal series. I would recommend checking it out if you are wanting a sad story.
Okay. Good. Let's see. Next is Mr. Grimdark. Nick, check out Penguin Memories. Is that
that's not a show. Just check out the Memories of Penguins. See what they've been up to.
Wait, is that Mawaru Penguin Drum? What anime? Is that not an anime?
I have no idea. I
have no fucking clue.
You guys are the experts. Why do I even bring you here?
Look, I just know what the good shit is and how to get to that. If I haven't heard of it, it's either even more obscure or probably not the good shit.
Wait, say again. What did he say?
Penguin Memories.
Penguin Memories.
Brad,
I don't know.
Not to be confused with Penguin Mammaries, which is a whole subsection of the furry art.
Yeah, no.
Oh no!
No. Brad DL says a lot of Japanese hated Barefoot Gen because it made Japan look bad. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. You can't ever depict Japan as wrong in Japan because they are fucked up over there.
Oh, they have a whole lot of problems when it comes to honor. Anything that depicts
no honor.
Yeah, anything that depicts Japan wrong is probably not.
I'm surprised One Piece is doing so well because in its current arc, it's in like sort of a pseudo Japan world that's clearly like the author is taking some shots at Japan's culture and history. Like obviously, you know, it's celebrating a lot of Japan, but it's also taking some pretty direct pot shots at Japan's culture and history in ways I'm like, damn, dude.
Okay, Mr. Grimdark clarified. He said it's a movie about penguins fighting in Vietnam.
Yeah. Oh shit. Penguin Memories. That's the one from the 80s, right?
No idea.
I think I briefly glimpsed at this. I think it was a movie that was like almost 2 hours long. Yeah, it did have like some more aspects to it. I don't remember finishing it. It was roughly 6 years ago, I believe. I watched it. Penguin Memories. Yeah, I do think I do think I did watch that anime. God, I don't remember shit about it other than it being goofy as fuck. But yeah,
that's all anime. No, I'm just kidding. Next is Keck7 Go says it happened in Portland, Oregon, but what if he called their dad while so the calling while black was in Oregon. Portland. That doesn't make any sense.
Oh, wow, that's a little weird.
Yeah, what if he called their dad while black? Would that even be possible? Oh, Keck, come on.
Oh man, I wish I had my soundboard up. I'd be like
or you could do. This number has been disconnected. Keck7 Go says, and that's a joke. Chill out. And it's a real problem in the black community, but I think everybody can agree to that. Keck7 Go says, have you discussed the Soulja Boy selling bootleg Chinese video game consoles for full of NES ROMs as his own, including a handheld called Soulja Boy, and saying Nintendo ain't gonna do anything? How will his butthole handle Nintendo lawyers? Not well.
Your body is not ready.
Yeah, Soulja Boy. Let me give you some legal advice. Selling ROMs that you did not buy a license for is illegal. Highly, highly illegal. To the tune of $250,000 plus up to 10 years in federal prison. Or, as a civil charge, $150,000 per ROM.
Because there's a lot of ROMs on there.
Plus other damages, including attorney's fees. You don't want that. You don't want that.
Here's what makes it worse. Here's what makes it worse, because a lot of people don't know this. Most video game companies in Japan, the vast majority, are connected to the Yakuza in some way. The Yakuza own them or have just some strong arm. They obey the Yakuza. Nintendo doesn't. The Yakuza have no play in Nintendo. The Yakuza don't touch Nintendo. You have pissed off like the one gaming company the Yakuza don't touch.
And that everybody loves. Like normies love Nintendo because Nintendo markets to normies. 80-year-old women bought the Wii. Like, think about what Nintendo accomplished.
And even gamer nerds love Nintendo, because who doesn't fucking love like Kirby? Because Kirby don't make bad games.
Right. No, the only people.
Well, they made a terrible anime called Hoshi no Kirby. Which
don't you talk shit about the Kirby anime, okay? King Dedede is an axis of evil.
Hoshi no Kirby is one of the worst anime I've
ever
seen. You
shut your mouth, man. That's
fuck you.
There was a whole fucking episode making fun of anime, and the animation process is one of the greatest things that Japan has ever aired.
I put Hoshi no Kirby on the same level as the 3-episode OVA of the Ninja Turtles anime. garbage.
Set this man on fire. What do I gotta do? Do I get a flamethrower? Do I gotta?
Yeah, I'm about to go.
You gotta mail a Molotov cocktail somewhere?
I'm about
Am I
to
gonna get in
shove
trouble
bit
for
of
even
an
joking about
aside.
I'm about to shove
a
a
bit of an
plunger up my
aside.
ass at this point.
it?
Don't-
Okay, save me trouble.
Don't do that.
This is a bit of an
Legal
aside,
advice.
but I think
don't
it was a crime. It was a crime the Metal Heroes series didn't continue because we never got to have the Beetleborgs Power Rangers crossover that I always wanted. And Forever Red doesn't count.
But I lost my fucking train of thought. But yeah, oh yeah, Nintendo. Because they're like infamously vicious too. Like they will.
They're Disney. They're Japan Disney. I mean,
Except they're not as they're like Disney is evil. Nintendo is just ruthless.
yeah, but outside of outside of specific critics who get deep into Disney lore, everybody loves Disney. And same thing with Nintendo. Outside of specific critics who are like critical of how Nintendo handles specific instances, like you hate Disney when you start to realize what they've done to copyright. Like
Yes. Oh my God. I was just talking about that the other day.
right,
like with Princess Mononoke.
Well, I don't know. I'm talking about how they've Mickey Mouse should have been public domain 50 years ago, but Disney lobbies with the power of the mouse and the ownership of, like CNN and ESPN. They go ahead and lobby for extensions every time the mouse comes up against the public domain limits. And they do all sorts of tricks. Like what they did recently was they trademarked the Disney intro with the Steamboat Mickey, right? Like one of the first Mickey Mouses, which would be public domain, except it's now part of the Disney trademark because they play it at the beginning of every show, and that's part of their mark. So it was a way to subvert copyright law with trademark law. But prior to that, every time Mickey came up for public domain, what they would do is they would literally lobby Congress and get an extension, because public domain used to be like a 25-year limit on your copyright, and then it hit public domain. Well, then it was increased to 50, then it was increased to 75 years where we sit now. Disney has completely mutilated copyright law because of Mickey Mouse, specifically.
Is it still 75 years?
Yeah.
It's life of the
maybe
creator plus.
Cody or Gator might know. Cody, are you familiar with the anime project World Masterpiece Theater?
I know the name.
Okay, so
I
World
don't know what it
Masterpiece
is.
Theater was a anime project that aired from, I think it was 1969 to 2007, where they did a reimagining of several Western literature books into animation. And it was
Yeah, I think I remember this. Yeah.
Yeah, Dog of Flanders, 3,000 Leagues in Search of a Woman. They did
Wasn't Genkatsuo Count of Monte Cristo part of that?
yes.
Yeah.
Yep. And they did Perrine Monogatari, or The Story of Perrine. I was curious to know from what Nick was saying if you were familiar with this, because a lot of that was public domain because it was several Western literature books that were so far gone that anime could actually, like, the industry could actually illustrate or adapt them to animation. And most of the shows were 52 episodes because it would air on Tokyo TV for an entire year. So The Story of Perrine, Dog of Flanders, 3,000 Leagues in Search of a Woman, Remy, Nobody's Girl, etc., aired on that. And I guess that's kind of relevant to what Nick was talking about, which is the only thing I know about public domain, was because the stories were so old that they could legally transform that into animation without any legal trouble.
Yeah.
But sorry, Nick. But yeah, they also did Akage no An, which is Anne of Green Gables, just stories like that.
We get the idea.
Yeah, so I figured you had heard about it, but sorry, Nick, you can keep going.
No, that's okay. I finally hit the last chat. It's from Phoenix Lord Asserman. It says Yu Yu Hakusho had a good OVA come out this year. It's great to see the series with updated animation. I highly recommend it.
I heard
Ooh,
something
didn't even
about
know
that.
that.
I heard vague. I heard that for like a day. I thought it might not have been that good, just because I would think if it was, I would have heard more about it than just, hey, this happened. Bye. Like, I feel like it was such a flash in the pan. I was like, oh, I guess it was just a
Yu
novelty.
Yu Hakusho really gets overshadowed though by a lot of the other works that came out at the same time. So it really didn't get discovered for a lot of Western audiences until it had its run on Cartoon Network.
Yeah,
Did-
it was really good, which is a shame to see like the author's next project just be such shit.
Oh, hiatus X hiatus.
Yeah,
See,
Hunter x Hunter
I
is just
actually got into Hunter x Hunter late, like
It's
right about the
bad.
time it started airing on Adult Swim. But I just said, you know what, screw that. I'm not
and it's
gonna
like
wait.
it's so much of it is just goddamn plagiarism of like, him just I mean, I get being inspired, but some of it's just like, dude, it's like you made Yu Yu Hakusho, but now like your big villain is just Cell from Dragon Balls. It's just Cell. What is
Are you talking
wrong
about
with you?
Meruem?
Yeah, it's just Cell.
Are you
What is
talking
wrong
about?
with you?
Are you talking
He's
about
talking
Hunter x
about
Hunter
the,
2011 or the original?
The
about
manga, the
2011.
property.
The
Well, and
manga?
the manga.
Okay, because I've only seen the original anime. I've never read it or seen.
The story that he made. I don't care what adaptation it is. His
Okay.
He's
product.
talking about the Chimera Ant arc. is what he's
So the
Okay.
whole thing is pretty bad. And there was that whole arc that was basically a Yu-Gi-Oh! Like it's an island in a game. It was the fucking first arc of Yu-Gi-Oh!
Oh yeah, the Hunter Island arc.
And
yeah.
then like the plots never make sense and everybody's an idiot. And like, oh god, it's just
But-
like, dude, you made Yu Yu Hakusho. What happened to you?
Yeah,
And then
well,
like he can't finish his artwork. You ever seen the fucking page where like the first panel is this immensely detailed picture of like a cooked turkey, and then he clearly ran out of time. So then below that, everybody's just drawn in scribbles.
yeah. Now,
I will say this:
funniest
Hold on,
thing.
are you-
the series gets better as it goes on.
I would
He
contest
stops
that.
phoning it. He stops phoning it in right
The
after.
most recent chapter was the one, not the most recent chapter, but like a few months ago was the one I'm talking about, where it's like detailed chicken and then just fucking scribble scrab, like, fuck it, I ran out of time.
well, hold on. I want to go back to what he said. So I'm assuming both of you have seen the original Yu Yu Hakusho Ghost Files, all 100+
Yes.
episodes.
Yeah,
Okay.
I own 'em.
Okay. So you've seen it. Okay.
Yeah, I love the dub because it's in this fascinating middle ground of Funimation's life cycle. Funimation is such a fascinating company to follow because they go from like shit to great to shit to great. It's just fascinating to watch their evolutions and their periods and progress. So like,
I'll
Yu
just
Yu
say
Ha-
this real quick to interject.
Yeah.
Spirit sword, grow longer.
Yeah, and it's
Wait,
like
so,
it's
Cody,
got
have
that,
you
that
seen-
twinge of old Dragon Ball Z where like they change shit needlessly and the voices are like, why did you pick this voice? But then like they also stick to the story and they especially as it goes, it gets more faithful. So then those weird voices they gave everyone start to like add character, like Kuwabara's voice. It's so goofy. But can you imagine him talking any other way than like
No, you
this?
can't.
Yeah.
But
And-
did
Stand
Cody,
back, you're a miss. I've
Yeah,
got
that's
this
his-
one.
That's
Cody,
his
did
fucking
you-
voice.
Kuwabara, what are you
Did-
doing?
did
Yeah.
you see all of the original Yu Yu Hakusho sub?
I saw some of it subbed. It was just too weird.
Okay, I
It was
watched
too
it.
weird.
I watched it all subbed. Okay.
Because the dub again, it has that shade of old Dragon Ball Z dub where they didn't know what they were doing, but like they've had experience, so they're starting to figure it out. So by the time we get to the Dark Tournament, it's like gained this whole new character to it. That just the show's already great, but the dub's weird kind of character just adds so much more to it. Where like this is like Funimation when they figured out what they were doing, and it's which has just made it sad when they just turned to SJW garbage and started fucking with shows. But they seem to have stopped. So we'll see where they're going now. They seem to have gotten over their shit. But it's this beautiful place that we'll probably never see again in dub. And like they dubbed over the songs, which they still do for some shows, but it was like it was much better than what they do now. Like that English opening. Yeah, that English opening is the shit. Like, I don't even want to hear the Japanese version. You take,
travel far and wide.
see, you know,
Desolation
you
get
don't, you take
This
that
is-
Japanese opening
getting-
and you put it in a waste disposal bin, good sir, because I will take that dub opening any day. That was a jam, and that there's some of those other dub songs were jams. Like, I don't remember what was the name, but the one where the ending was like all the characters like walking up, like still images of them like on steps and like a black background. That was a jam.
I
Like,
still highly recommend the Japanese version, because even in the Dark Tournament, like even a use case fight with Taguro, I think in the sub it still sounded very. I guess
what made the dub
it
great was they were doing
sounded-
cartoon character voices, but they were doing it earnestly, and that gave it so much more character than if they were just giving them like what should be normal voices. Like they were like they gave so many characters exaggerated cartoon voices, but then acted in those exaggerated cartoon voices, and it gave it this whole new flair and character that I wish more dubs would have the balls to do, because so many.
I'm a teenager in the height of my life. I'm
Yeah.
his rival. I'm
Yeah.
recruiting
Yeah,
a
like-
character.
I don't disagree. but
I'm the
Yu
mysterious
Yu
and flamboyantly gay character.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
that's
you-
another way the dub is better, because he's voiced by an actual girl. Karama
Yes.
is voiced by a woman in the Japanese version, and that's
Yeah.
fucking weird. But like it was like I wish more dubs would do that to add character to shows, because now they're so scared of fucking these psycho weebs that are like, there's the kind of people that use green text outside of 4chan and scoff when you talk about dubs. Like, you're not going to please these people. They can't even please anybody else. That's why they're watching half the shows they're watching. So like,
Are you
don't-
referring to Moe Weeb Trash 42?
yeah,
I have
well,
you know that
like,
the thing with
Yeah.
the thing
Like-
with Yu Yu Hakusho is that when it comes to anime, Yu Yu Hakusho is special, and it is one of those very like, it's a very I guess obscure versions of a dub that worked.
Well, here's the
but
thing.
Yu Yu Hakusho's
A lot of
production was
dubs that
very
take
bad.
liberties can work if you take liberties for the good of the show. Great example. I don't remember if I brought this up in the last stream, but Cyber City 080808.
Yeah, you talked about
Yeah,
how they
yeah, that-
a vampire fighting on a fucking castle.
Yeah, like Vampire in Space is fucking cyberpunk, where it's like 3 criminals and now they're forced to be cops because they have bomb collars, and the dub added all this fucking cussing to the dialogue and all this fucking snarky shit. And then another version of the dub also added all this rock music, which made it even better. And it's like, yeah, they
Also
changed shit,
in
but they
the
changed
European
shit.
dub as well.
Yeah,
let's
well, the
let's be clear. What you guys are blathering on about stuff I've never seen or even heard of. Let's be clear. The Evangelion intro song is fantastic.
Yeah, I hate Evangelion, but it's a great song.
Cruel Angel's Thesis.
Yeah.
Whatever the
Cruel
hell,
Angel's
whatever the
Thesis.
heck it's called, I don't know.
It's called
The-
Cruel Angel's Thesis.
So I
and
got,
Evangelion is not. I God, it's like
Well,
fully.
Nick was
cool.
saying
I'm that
something.
guy who hates it, but I
Well, I could just go ahead and kill you now. It's fine. No, my kid, I got Smash Brothers Ultimate on the Switch for my kids,
Good man.
and the intro
good
song
man.
to that
fuck Switch.
immediately takes me right back to the Evangelion opening.
It is pretty-
And my son walks around. My son walks around like singing that Smash Brothers intro, and I'm like, gosh, I want him to sing the Evangelion one. More.
Which of your 19 sons? I hope you.
My
didn't name
oldest.
them
My
Shinji.
oldest.
Your oldest. Okay.
None of them will be Shinji. No, they'll all get in the robot and fight without.
Robot.
The guy that plays Shinji doesn't even like Shinji.
Yeah, that's
we know.
because
he
Shinji
smokes that
sucks.
cigarette.
Sitting there waiting with a bunch of cicadas in the background. Get in a giant robot and kill things, and then go bang Asuka and.
too much of a giant walking gaping vagina to fight
Okay,
evil
I guess.
monsters.
I guess.
Get in your mom, Shinji. We all know. It's this weird thing where you need to like bang your mom to fight monsters, but do it.
She's technically a clone. It's not the same.
There was some fan comic. I wish I could find it again, where someone made like if Evangelion, it's Evangelion, but if Shinji was like a testosterone infused madman, like it's the beginning of Evangelion. It tells me to get on the robot, and he's like, "You give me that fucking robot right now! Give me the key!" And it's like this whole thing of him just the Eva just viciously beating the first angel. Like, "You take it, you bitch!" Like, it was like in the 2000s, and I wish I could find it again because it was kind of glorious. He's like, "Fuck yeah, I'll get in that robot."
That's
Did
exactly.
any of you guys ever watch Evangelion Redeath?
I know that name.
It's legendary. At like every anime convention you could think of, back when I actually went to anime conventions, it was this video called Evangelion Redeath, and somebody had gone through and redubbed the entire thing
Oh, yeah.
and edited it, and it was the funniest shit. The one thing that always sits with me is whenever
Early
Gendo
Bridge series.
Akari would be mentioned or would appear, it would always be like, "It's Gendo."
I remember that. Yeah.
See, that's the one thing that I find hilarious is because, like I said earlier in the stream, Studio Gainax is basically my favorite studio. But Neon Genesis Evangelion, amongst their other works too, they have so many problems. And Neon Genesis Evangelion, especially with the rebuild films between 1.0, 2.0, and 3.0, End of Eva, all that, like they're super memeable. Like literally in the first scene of End of Eva, Shinji Ikari literally jerks off and comes all over fucking Asuka.
No, he comes over his own hand and then looks at it.
Yeah, and he looks at it and he says, "I'm so fucked up." Like
super quietly too. Like they tried to sneak it in there.
Yeah,
I would love.
Super memeable. It's.
I would fucking kill to see the recording booth because we already know Spike Spencer, the guy who plays Shinji, hates Shinji, and we already know how he feels about Shinji. So just him recording that scene, just what he would have been thinking or saying afterward. I would have paid money just to see Spike try to get through that fucking scene.
I would have paid for you to be on a panel with me shitting on Fooly Cooley. I feel like he had the same attitude and mood I did while me and you would be watching Fooly Cooley. I feel like that actor hated the entire production show like so much that
I don't think he hated production. I think he just hated the character he was playing.
Well, yeah.
Like he hates Shinji. He'll play him anytime you ask because it's a paycheck, and he knows that a lot of people love the role, and he'll do it for the fans and not for. But he fucking hates Shinji.
Money.
He hates Shinji, which is funny.
I've got one final chat here, and then there is one other question that we might have time to address, but it is getting really late.
Yeah.
So I don't want to keep people forever. Mithrin Emrys says Black Butler, Shota or no? Discuss.
Okay, Black Butler is a Fujo show. It is crap. And it is basically just there so the girls can imagine the demon man fucking the little boy.
Yeah, it's a Fujoshi.
What is Shota?
Shota is
it's basically the boy version of Loli.
Lolly, yeah.
Oh, gross.
Yeah.
Shota is
I did Shotokan karate back when I was like a kid.
That's Shotokan.
Shotokan. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So it's not the same thing. So I wasn't being molested while I wasn't looking.
Shotokan karate is that's Kevin Spacey. He's a master at that.
Yeah. He's like empty hand no longer, baby.
Nick, have you seen Boku no Pico?
No.
Are you aware of Boku no Pico?
Well,
I've heard of it.
I stay the fuck away from that shit.
Yeah,
I watched it.
I did watch it.
Why would you admit that on a live stream?
Because I had the whole podcast. It was for the podcast. The idea was, what would be a really funny idea for a Christmas episode? Let's fucking watch Boku no Pico for the Christmas episode. It'll be hilarious. And then me and my co-host watched it. And I'm like, why the fuck did we do that? I'm an idiot.
Hey guys, we're
fucking retard.
We're gonna live stream watch Two Girls, One Cup.
That's kind of what we did. We didn't live stream watch.
Boku no shotgun mouthwash.
Hey Nick, do you want to watch an opening scene where a father licks ice cream off of his son's fucking shirt? The son licks ice cream off of the dad's shirt.
It was a random dude from like the bar or wherever he worked. Yeah. It was just random dude. It was 3 episodes and each one was like just some fucked up thing. My favorite part, because I thought it was hilarious because it baffled me, there's just a random bit of there's a girl masturbating and I'm watching it and thinking, this is clearly for like gay pedophiles. You have an extended scene of a grown woman masturbating.
Yeah, Nick,
Why?
this isn't lolly shit. This is Shota, which is like
it was
little
what-
boy shit.
What
It's
was the
fucked
fuck?
up.
I mean, I'll admit I kind of cheated. I kind of cheated, and my co-host is mad at me because when the sex scenes came up, I skimmed it, and he's mad because he didn't. And I was like, I thought we were supposed to watch it. He's like, I'm not sitting through that.
Yeah, it's fucked up.
Now
I
that
mean,
sounds like a Game Grumps sketch.
I thought we were supposed
Aaron, you were supposed to fast forward through it. You mean you didn't actually watch part? Yeah, man. I just like fucking hit the fast forward on the thing, and I didn't watch that shit, man. I guess you're going to
don't
jail by
worry.
yourself, Aaron.
I'm sure Mundane Matt watched it twice to make up for you.
Because he really loves saving calm.
Oh.
Like, it was kind of funny. It was kind of funny in a lot of ways. Like I love my brother and I for years would love to bring up the joke because we always thought it was funny of the so and so's was dead for like the last 5 years. Like you're dealing with somebody at the store or whatever, some customer service person that's annoying, and you go to complain to the manager's like Jimmy, his name was Jimmy. He treated us terribly. Jimmy's been dead for 5 years. Like that kind of thing. Like we always thought that was funny. And then Boku no Pico did that. Like while we were in the time where we were making that joke with each other, then the third episode, it turns out like the third little boy they were fucking was like a ghost or something. Like he's been dead for 10 years. I'm like, oh my God.
Well, the hentai also had a lot of like drag queen shit, or like little boys dressed as little girls.
It was so pedophilic.
It's really bad.
This is way off topic, but did you guys see that like 12-year-old boy is a drag queen?
Yeah, that is also so pedophilic. That's like IRL Boku no Pico. That whole thing.
Yeah, that was
everyone involved with that deserves
the
gas.
Yeah, everybody involved with that should be in fucking prison. Every single person encouraging that. Everybody you see in a picture with him, like some other drag queen, like you go, girl. No, that motherfucker in prison. That motherfucker in prison. The people in the Today Show that had that kid on, that had the kid fucking doing the sexy walk on the catwalk shit bullshit. They should be in prison.
No, they don't need prison. They need a nail gun to the forehead.
Yeah, fucking. Well, I would like to do worse things, but I know YouTube can be retarded. Like, did you say you'd Molotov cocktail them? You have to go away now.
I am 21 years old. I would rather shove a fucking glass ball up my butthole than have a kid fucking be a drag queen. I'll just say that real quick.
Just everything about
it's
that.
Like the dirtiest. It's like the dirtiest open secret in Hollywood that this shit goes on. I was talking about.
Yeah.
We covered this story on the Killstream, and we talked about the fact that guys like Milo Yiannopoulos who exposed this shit, they get there's this we called them the gay KK, the gay cult, where in Hollywood where you're supposed to keep all of these secrets, and if you dare expose people to what's really going on behind the scenes, you get excommunicated.
Yeah, well, look what happened to Corey Feldman.
Yeah, Milo's another good example.
Yep, yeah. Milo got just tossed, and not in the way he would like with his salad, and then
very a salad with plenty of dark meat.
Yeah, exactly. Some raw beef in that salad. And then Corey Feldman was speaking out about it, and Corey Feldman, like, he comes out with a fury. And I like Corey Feldman because The Lost Boys is a fantastic movie, and I'll always be grateful to him for being in The Lost Boys. But he comes out heavy talking about how he and other kids who were like 12 to 14 years old were just passed around amongst producers and stuff. And then immediately something, I don't even remember what happened, but Corey Feldman ran into some weird legal trouble very recently. He's gone silent, and Milo, had a big book deal. It's gone. Anybody who talks about the rampant pedophilia in Hollywood gets gone. They get gone immediately, and Hollywood is a disgusting cesspool. And
I think Feldman fingered a couple people. No, that terrible phrasing. I'm sorry. Yeah. Feldman pointed his finger to accuse a few people that he actually named a couple people, and then he was going to name more, and then they started bringing hammers down on him. Hollywood is just fucking evil. I'm shocked that Macaulay Culkin avoided that shit, because you would have thought
Maybe
that
he
would have been the
didn't.
holy grail. It seems like he did. From everything that I could tell and everything that he's said. I mean, he had his own problems, but I think part of it is also he just actively decided to retire from acting for a while.
I think, and maybe Gator, since you guys cover this stuff all the time, maybe you can comment on this. But I think maybe America is uncomfortable with the idea that Hollywood has gay pedophilic relationships with kids, and is only ready currently to deal with the fact that Hollywood has inappropriate relationships with women. Although it's kind of funny that people are more willing to jump on and accept a 25-year-old model going up into the room of a producer, pretending like she had no idea that he was interested in having sex with her, than they are with like a 14-year-old boy being passed around. Any ideas on that?
I think a lot of it has to go with the fact that the woman would get more attention in the press, because it's a hotly debated thing, the hashtag Me Too stuff. And really, the media is more focused on that because it's also more easily brushed under the rug. It's more easily buried if it's a woman. Whereas if news broke that it was
especially
a boy that walked
illegal,
up to his room.
especially a legal age woman, because notice all the hashtag Me Too stuff, all of these women, and I hate this subject so much, because seriously, you've got 60-year-old Harvey Weinstein and you've got 22-year-old supermodel going up to his hotel room. I had no idea he'd come out of his bathroom completely naked and expect something. Yeah, why were you up there alone, you dummy? You know exactly why. And the only reason you're bringing it up now is because you've got the money and power that you got from those type of encounters to get there. But I can't. I know it's in the news, but it just blows my mind that we're not willing to protect the Hollywood children.
I think we're on their way. I think what we're seeing in a lot of culture right now is sort of a shift where the sort of elite class that I think the average person aspired to be or started to worship, they've turned on them. They sort of, I mean, to use the vernacular, more people are being red pilled than ever before. I think even the election of Trump is a sign of that, where just a lot of people are waking up, and then we're seeing more. And I think we're going to get to the point where I think in our lifetimes, the pedophile problem in Hollywood, the hammers are going to be brought down, because I think the Me Too thing was the dip. It's like a kid that wants to go swimming and he's scared because the water's cold and he doesn't ever want to go in the deep end. So he just kind of dips his foot in the shallow end and he slowly goes in and he just kind of wades in the shallow end while his dad's like, go in further, don't be a pussy. Like that kind of thing. I feel like that's what society's doing right now with a lot of what goes on in the elite upper echelons. They're starting to get in, because you have to remember, for a long time, and this is deeply ingrained, of how the glitz and glamour of Hollywood, and Hollywood is glamorous, and we love celebrities. What are the celebs up to? Who's dating who? And so you have to it's this sort of society is deprogramming itself little by little, more and more, that Hollywood is not glamorous. It's actually quite disgusting. These actors are actually pieces of shit. These people that you thought were these prestigious and amazing people are actually pieces of shit. And more and more people are learning, and more people are coming to accept that. And it's a gradual process, but I do firmly believe we are getting there. We are making progress, and then we will see within our lifetimes sort of the fall of pedowood.
You have more faith than I do, my friend.
I think it's gonna be a while. It's not gonna be in the next couple of years, but I think you're gonna see more and more, little by little. Because the Corey Feldman thing happened. Yeah, he's shut up. They kind of shut him up. But
you guys need to check out. There's an ongoing case right now by a guy named Rovier Carrington, and I've covered it a little bit only because of the lawyer who was initially representing him was Kevin Landau, the worst attorney I can possibly imagine. But Rovier Carrington is allegedly the grandson of Mo from the Three Stooges, who is also allegedly raped repeatedly by two big-time TV producers, one of them being Dead Man Brad Gray, and then another one, I don't remember his name. but he's suing dead Brad Gray's estate, and he's suing the other guy, and it's a huge case, and it's really a shame that he had the worst possible attorney in history representing him at the onset, because he may have ruined the case. But like, this is not, it's not a problem that is just relegated to women. This guy is a man. At the time of all of the alleged events, he was, young 20s male, and he was pressured into sexual intercourse, promised a bunch of movies, and then not only just alleging pressured sexual intercourse, but also flat out rape.
Sounds like a sick hentai.
Yeah, sounds like Boku no Pico. No.
You're not even that wrong. I do think, like, you see, like I said, even though they shut Corey Feldman up, that kind of like, oh, I'm out in these people, I'm out in this guy, and naming names and shit, that wouldn't have happened like 5 years ago.
No.
Like, so we're seeing there is visible progress. Like I said, it's gonna be a slow burn. It might be a slow burn and then an explosion. Like, I don't know how long it'll take. But I mean, there is sort of the deprogramming that has, I don't like saying deprogramming, but I can't think of a better word, that has to be done, and I think is being done, where a sort of society is coming to accept that Hollywood is not glamorous. It's actually fucking disgusting, and that these celebrities are not special, and they're actually, a lot of them are pieces of shit. And
let's call it the cultural.
They're no better than
booing.
any of us. They're really not. Like, I'm just a 21-year-old dude who sits around and drinks and watches anime. I don't think they're any more special than any of us. What
was that, Gator?
I was saying, let's call it the cultural defooing of America.
Yeah.
realizing that Hollywood's a whole big cesspool of
exactly.
If there's any silver lining to this shit, it's that the knowledge that it is in some cases avoidable. Like, I think, who was the guy? I always forget his name, but the guy that played Frodo in Lord of the Rings, because he was a child star for a bit. And I remember his parents kind of knew what was going on. I wish you hadn't
said that, because now I can't.
Yeah, I can't. Elijah Wood. Yeah, because he talked about when he was young, his parents would never let him be around certain people because they kind of knew this would go on, and they kept a tight leash on him, which is why he never got raped. Because he talked about this, because he was like, he kind of briefly touched on it. It was like, so my parents, they kept me on a tight leash. They didn't let me around in a lot of these parties, and they didn't let me go this, I came in, I did my job, and they took me right home.
Well, the guy who initially accused Kevin Spacey, Anthony Rapp, talked about, he was 14 years old. He was at one of these Hollywood parties, and by himself, which, good God, kill his parents.
Yeah, like,
he's at one of these Hollywood parties, and Kevin Spacey allegedly came on to him, and not only that, but like took him into a back room, cornered him, and was basically assaulting him. I don't know that he accused him of actually rape, but he basically said that he was forcing himself upon him.
Yeah, so it's like, at least they're not abducting children in the dead of night, or like, that's the silver lining here. It could be worse. At least they're not like an Arabic fucking sex cult. Like, maybe
they are, though. Like, that's the horrifying thing is, like, what if you never hear those kids?
Everything we can tell, it always seems to be like young kids at a party, or somebody connected to somebody that gets pressured. And then you see Harvey Weinstein in like those released tapes where he's begging his maid. And like, and that's really where you kind of see that maybe they don't have all the omnipresent power that we think they do. When this is just some fucking maid who's like some dumpy old maid that he technically he's probably some illegal immigrant he could fucking threaten. And he's just like, please just stay in the room while I masturbate. Please. And she's like, no, I'm not doing, please. And it's just this pathetic begging. And it really does show, like, this guy with all this power.
That's some anime shit.
Yeah, and he's still like, me, please.
Did
stay in the room. I must finish.
Did you guys see Lindsay Lohan try to take that kid up to her room over in like Russia and get punched in the face? That was one of the funniest videos I've ever watched.
That was really funny.
Shit's
been done to her. She is broken.
My buddy Almonds claims to have slept with her when they were both like 15, 16-year-old on a cruise ship. So I tend to believe him. Good job, Almonds. Way to go.
But
That was back when she was still pure.
But did he lick her butthole? That's the real question.
Why
I'll
did you
ask
ask
him.
that?
I'll ask him. I'll say, Almonds,
what
did
is
you
your-
lick the Lohan butthole?
Why
not?
What even? What?
Cue the
Motherfucker-
picture of Tony Kornheiser asking why.
Okay. Iron Martyr said, I did Shotokan. Sound clip now exists. Yep, apparently it does.
Buddy,
Kex-
sorry, no.
Kex7Go says, in what some may describe as a straight-up Twitter meltdown, Soulja Boy unleashed a barrage of tweets aimed at his detractors. In the profanity and homophobia-laden tweet storm, Mr. Boy, that's Soulja Boy, maintained that he sold 5 million copies of his Soulja game console. Good job, Soulja. That's not a good thing to admit. And then Kex7Go followed up with, my favorite part about Boku no Pico is the guy who thought the main boy was a girl just goes F it and literally proceeds to do so when he realizes that the girl is a boy. And that guy disappears after the first episode, probably had a talk with the Popo. And not to be confused with Mr. Popo from Dragon Ball Z.
The fact that he watched Boku no Pico gives me so much respect for him, because that is so fucking funny.
Where'd you come from, little man? I heard you've been doing some bad things.
I heard you fucked a little boy. Yeah, that's real funny.
You're going to the bottom of the tower for
Tommy,
this
it's a
one.
pedophile.
So anyways, that's where we are, guys. It's 2:30 in the morning where I am, so it's 3:30 in the morning, I think, for some of you.
Yeah,
I'm relatively hammered. And I have
same.
I have a bunch of family coming over tomorrow. So I need to
I'm drunk as shit.
Like, what is this bags in your eyes? I was up all night talking anime with some nerds. We got drunk, talked about Boku no Pico.
We started with anime and ended up with Lindsay Lohan on a cruise ship. It was weird, man. Weird
Poor
night.
Nick.
What was that, buddy?
I said poor Nick.
Yeah, it's okay.
We
It's
started
okay.
talking about law, ended up talking about Japanese cartoons, Lindsay Lohan getting blown on a cruise ship.
Hold on, real quick. Gator and Cody, what anime have you been watching recently? Let's ruin Nick's night by talking about anime.
Oh wait! I'm supposed to, Cody, the guy who's been calling you or saying that you guys have a furry in your
Is he
group.
still going?
He's watched the whole show, so I want to. He's been asking.
Dude, you got issues, man. Come on, I'm one guy on the internet who made fun of shows you like, and you're here 3 hours.
No, it's okay. He wants to know why you hate Kaiji.
Oh, Kaiji.
Kaiji? I don't.
Kaiji.
I don't.
Kaiji is that the gambling or the
it's
the gambling? Yeah,
it's fucking cool. Why would I hate it?
Oh, Ultimate Survivor Kaiji.
See, you gotta. You need to take your meds, man. The doctor prescribed you those to help you, dude. You got to take them.
If you have autism, take those fucking.
Is there an autism med?
I
thought autism med was playing Sonic.
No, it's as Dick Masterson says. He says, for Gator and Cody, he would say they are an Japanese animation. For Nick, he would say, I am a law and a rage. And for me, I would say I am, was, and are an autism.
Yeah, that's definitely true. So, question, do you give props to Bunty for boldly admitting to eating the booty?
No.
Fuck no.
No.
That's not something you talk about publicly.
No.
Number one, I don't want to hear it. Number two, you just admitted to eating someone's butthole.
I'm just saying.
There's this weird fucking thing going on. And this is what we keep bitching at the anime fandom for. There's this weird thing now where you just have to tell people shit that you should have taken to the grave with you. No one on earth needs to know if you eat ass, what porn you watch, what your favorite fetish is, what your fetish is. No one ever needs to know. I miss the glory days where that shit was a bedroom fucking secret. And that just shut the fuck up. And no one ever needs to know what you masturbate to, what you lick, what you suck. No.
What gets caught in the beard? What hangs out there?
You don't need to know that. Never need to know that.
No, you need to get mealy. You need to get mealy fucking fecal matter stuck in your fucking face. Dick eats ass. We all have to. We have to talk about it. Get that shit stuck in your fucking. Get that shit stuck in your beard.
You get it's the length of the stream and the drinking that's going on during it is visibly taking its toll.
Guys, you don't know how much money I spent on law school to talk about this.
I am so hammered.
Never.
Dick.
Never.
Eating ass is mealy as fuck, Gator. Eat that shit. Put your fucking nose straight up in that fucking booty hole.
That is disgusting. Why would you eat ass when there's a perfectly good next door neighbor that is just waiting for you to walk right up?
I think it's gay if you don't eat that ass. It's gay as fuck. Eating ass is mealy as fuck. I don't care. I don't care what you say.
If you like that, you should stick something in there. You never need to put your mouth on it. The other part that you can put your mouth on, she'll enjoy a lot better. There's never any need to eat ass besides you being a fuck.
Okay.
Why would you go to Browntown when the girl next door is just begging for attention?
No, I gotta ask
going
though.
to Browntown is funny as fuck. And it's mealy as fuck.
Guys, I gotta know though. You're at gunpoint, you're forced to. What condiment do you add?
To your butthole?
Not to yours. What are you doing? How flexible are you? No.
I am a 6'6" man who has had 2 knee surgeries. I am not flexible at all. But if you're talking about flexible women, yeah, add that hentai. Add that hentai DVD to their butthole. Show it in and lick it. And make sure it's not a lolly.
My answer would be cyanide and or bleach.
I would add whatever. I don't know if this comes in a liquid form, but any kind of form where I could put it on the butthole would be what is that, Rohypnol? Just so I would never remember that I did it.
No, not like a vanilla creamsicle flavored lubricant or body oil or something like that.
Vanilla
come on.
Creamsicle flavored Rohypnol, so that I can erase this from my memory and continue to lead an ignorant and happy life.
Let's put Nick on the spot. Nick, do you eat ass?
No.
That's gay.
That's the easiest answer in my life of all time. No.
That's so gay.
No.
I don't know how many girls are listening to this.
Zero. No, actually, there might be one.
Well, there was one. My girlfriend was listening, but she just bowed out. She had to go to bed. But but she might resume this. She might comment. I don't know. But
you don't eat her ass. You don't eat.
No, God no. But like,
that's gay. That's super gay.
Would you even want a guy to eat your ass? Like, can you think you said, well, that would be a fun time for me. Let's go fucking do that. Like, I can't even think of a girl wanting to do that unless like she's so fucked up that her daddy issues are a mile long. And at that point, just don't bother with a woman. If a woman wants you to eat ass, that's a fucking warning sign.
You are right. Just watch enough anime. Maybe one day you'll be into it.
Why the fuck watching more anime?
My man's sketch therapy is blowing up the chat. He says she's on her period and you have to lubricate it. Toss her salad. There you go. That's why he's with you, Landon.
Okay, if you can still fuck her on her period. You just gotta fucking wear a condom.
I don't personally eat ass. I just want Dick Masterson to fucking admit that he does.
No, he can't do that. Have you? 80s girl's like the sweetest lady. He can't do that.
I don't care.
He's got the whole neo man show image. That would just ruin his career.
No, he can't do that. He can't do that to 80s girl. I've met her. She's fantastic, a lovely person, all around.
Maddox is obsessed with her.
Yeah, she's beautiful and sweet, and Dick. She doesn't need that in public. So
she does. No, Dick Masterson. You motherfucker. I don't know how many months. We're what, 4 or 5 months in? If you don't admit to me that you eat ass, I'm going to fucking... Tweet me back, motherfucker.
Okay.
Email me.
Once the stream ends, Landon's just gonna vomit onto his computer and just pass out like in that really fast Family Guy style, where it's like 2 frames of animation in each one.
Fuck
I'm
it.
gonna
Sorry.
do that
Nick.
after I eat a bowl of cookies and cream ice cream.
Oh, gross.
Actually, oh no, wait, cookie dough ice cream.
Cookie
is what I
dough
bought.
ice cream while watching Garo Vanishing Line. Everybody,
No.
No, I'm gonna watch
No.
Mo Lowry.
Watch Love Live.
don't listen to him. Okay,
I'm
he's
gonna
telling you
send-
to watch Love Live.
I'm gonna
Fuck
send
you.
Mo
Fuck
Lowry to review Garo Vanishing Line. Then I'll watch it.
Go watch
Yeah.
Garo Vanishing Line
Yeah.
for some great characters and story with amazing animation and action that will make you hard. You will. It is.
Are you dead? Are you okay? Whoever that was.
See, he fell over. It's just like the Family Guy gag I talked about. It was Landon. He's too drunk.
All right. Let me thank very much my guests for hanging out with me for several hours talking about anime and all sorts of degeneracy. I warned you in the description of this video that after we talked about DragonBall Fighter Z, which actually happened like 2.5 hours in, that we would descend into degeneracy, and I think that we held up to that. So thank you all for watching. Thank you guys for joining me. So where can they find Landon? Are you like packing up an airplane with luggage? What's going
No, he fucking fell. I'm telling you, he fucking fell.
Okay, so Anime Outsiders, where can they find you?
You can find us at in Twitter at Outsiders Anime and animeoutsiders.com, and check out. I will be launching a comic on Indiegogo soon, within like a month or two, called Imp Story. I've posted some previews of that on my Twitter at Lord Schmecky. You can check that out. Please send that some money when I launch that, please. I would like to make a comic. And yeah, but generally Outsiders Anime on Twitter, animeoutsiders.com. That's where we be at. If you want an anime site and anime reviews and articles that are actually entertaining and informative and aren't fucking cringy or riddled with SJW garbage, head on to Anime Outsider. We got you hooked up. We got you on the hookup.
Okay, Gator, they can find you on the Killstream, but not only there, you have your own show as well. Where can they find you, buddy?
That's right. Yeah, I am the co-host of the Ralph Retort Killstream, which is stream.me/the Ralph Retort. I have my own channel on YouTube. I was like the only one that didn't get banned. YouTube.com/the GatorGamer.
Oh,
I
so
primarily stream.
It was you then who did it. Victory.
I did not.
I'm just kidding. Of course.
Ralph Retort is doing
primarily-
my job.
You can also find me on stream.me/the GatorGamer. Well, actually, no, I take that back. It's stream.me/Gator. I changed it.
Okay.
Like the first week I was there.
So, and what do you cover on your channel? Do you do gaming streams?
I do a lot of gaming streams. Occasionally, I'll talk about like the news of the day, drama. It's been kind of on hiatus because I've been busy IRL, with the Christmas season and everything, and then of course my internet went to absolute garbage.
Yeah, man, Christmas has just wrecked like everything. With me, for me, like it's made it so hard to get people on the show and stuff. I actually kind of can't wait for the new year to start because of that.
Understandable.
Yeah, sorry, I'm back.
Good. So check out Gator on the Killstream. Also check him out on stream.me/Gator. And what's your YouTube channel, buddy?
It's youtube.com/the GatorGamer.
The Gator Game. Game or gamer?
Gamer.
The Gator Gamer.
Gamer.
Sorry. YouTube.com/the Gator Gamer. I will update the description with so that everybody can check you out. And Landon, where can people find you, bud?
You can find me on Landonime, LANDONIME, on YouTube. Really, that's all I have.
Good. That's enough. Just one show. Like, because I have a Streamy and I never use it because I'm such a flippin' boomer that I hate Restream.io because it like deactivates streams and stuff while I'm using it, which is my fault. But yeah, so the one is enough for now. Although I don't know, man. I don't know how long this YouTube thing's going to last. I have to turn it around in 20.
No shit.
Anyway, so check out Anime Outsiders, check out Gator, check out Landon. Thank you guys for being on. I really appreciate it. Thank you all for watching. Tomorrow night, I will have Cecil Says and Yellow Flash. We will be sampling whiskey, and we will be making fun of stuff. It's a very laid back, not legally related stream. I don't know.
This weeb shit and nerd shit, we got to do some manly shit and just drink and talk shit.
Well, we're going to be talking about comics, so I don't know.
Oh, well, never mind.
Yeah. I might be making fun of the Wheelers specifically tomorrow. I don't know why I would have to do that. But we might be talking about that. We might be talking about some other things because it's almost my duty because I've gotten so many negative reviews on my Google page and my Facebook page from just letting someone else talk about the Wheelers and how they allegedly lied about him. And me saying I have no idea who is right in this. I've gotten so many false reviews from Mike Wheeler specifically making multiple Google accounts. These are people with no time for social media and who are running away from social media for being bullied. So we might have to talk about the Wheelers tomorrow and what they've been doing to me specifically.
That is some bitch boy shit right there.
It's pretty pathetic, considering up until today, I have never said anything negative about them at all. But they have gone full on Spurgetism. Or that, yeah. And so
fuck boy shit.
We might be talking about what's been going on there. We'll probably be making fun of Comicsgate, post Comicsgate, anti Comicsgate, all the clickiness that's been going on in the comics community and what has happened. I mean, the last 8 months of comics has been really, really weird and interesting. So that'll be tomorrow night. So tune in for that. And then the Mark Kern interview that I was supposed to do on Thursday, but completely blanked out, is being rescheduled as we speak. And as soon as I have confirmation from him, I will announce it. It was entirely my fault, and Mark has been very gracious about that. So we'll have Mark Kern on to talk about the likes of PayPal and Patreon and the money cartel and the Silicon Valley moral policing that's been going on all throughout.
And also belly buttons.
Well, okay, we'll talk about belly buttons too.
Sorry, that's like his thing.
And anal.
Yeah, the navel thing, the aggressive navel.
So yeah,
aggressive anal.
Aggressive naval sex will be talked apparently.
Oh no! Ouch.
So anyways, thank you guys. Thank you, guests. Guests, don't leave. I'm gonna end the stream. If you guys want to have any last words, say them now. I'm muting myself before I drunk ramble into oblivion.
Okay, go to animeoutsiders.com and support Imp Story when it goes live on Indiegogo. That's it.
Patreon.com/Asterios. There you
go. My channel is Landon McInjames. Thank you guys so much. And thank you, Nick, for having me on. It was good to talk to Cody, Gator, and Nick as well. Thank you guys so much.
Okay, peace out.